This is a story about the worst first date / blind date, kind of. I don't know, we sort of knew each other, that I've ever had. Also, I'm long-winded. I tell long stories, and I'm animated. I told a story like 24 hours ago about the first time I got a colonic that I didn't know I was going to get, and I'm getting eaten alive. So here's your warning. There's a 2x speed option, or there's a swipe option, or there's a listen option, like a podcast. Okay, this is a podcast. There you go. So I met this guy on Tinder in 2015, and we talked for about 2 weeks, and we decided he lived in a different state. I lived in Kansas, he lived in Iowa. We decided to meet halfway in Omaha. And as I was driving here, I called him. Well, I was driving to Omaha. I called him and I said, hey, I'm on my way, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know where we were going. He had set up the date. And I said, what are you wearing? So I have a rough idea. And he said, I'm wearing jeans and an Affliction shirt. And I thought it was a joke. And I said, no, you're not. And he said, yes, I am. And I said, no, you're wearing an Affliction shirt? And he said, yes, should I not be? And I said, no. You should not be. You shouldn't own an Affliction shirt, actually, because this is telling me a lot about what this is going to be. And he thought it was funny, and he's like, should I go to the mall and buy a new shirt? And I'm like, I mean, maybe. You, Affliction? No thanks. Yes, I clearly am judgmental, but I go and I meet him he's at a hotel. He got me a hotel. He was not staying there. He said, I got you a hotel. I'm going to stay somewhere else, but I just don't want you to feel like you have to drive home. So he meets me at the hotel that he got me. I mean, this is a really unsafe story, but this is truly what happened. We met online, lived in separate states. I didn't tell anyone except my sister that I was meeting him. And so we meet in the hotel. He carries my bags in, very chivalrous, and he's wearing an Affliction shirt. And he's wearing jeans that are like very baggy and have white stitching on them. And he also is wearing K-Swiss shoes from this is 2015, and I think the K-Swiss shoes might have been from 2001. I don't even know. He probably bought them in 2001. That's how dirty and disgusting they were. So I'm automatically like, what have I done? I have to spend the night with this horribly dressed dude. But we did have good conversations over the last 2 weeks when we had texted each other. Why we hadn't met, why we didn't really talk a ton other than texting, is that I had a child and my child was not coming. I didn't want him to meet them. So it's kind of hard when you're a single mom to FaceTime, and it was also 2015, so I don't remember if that was a thing, whatever. So I didn't know fully, and we go, and he's taking me to Dave & Buster's. So we go to Dave & Buster's, the most romantic place you could ever imagine for your first date, with a guy that you don't want to be going with because he looks like I don't know. I'm trying to say things that aren't mean, but he doesn't look great. So we go to Dave & Buster's and we are eating, and I'm still trying to give him a chance. Also, I drove a long ways for this. As we're eating dinner, he is rolling his eyes at everything I'm saying. He looks very uninterested the entire meal. There's Mark 1 I was super annoyed with. I actually had dropped my phone in the car between the seat, and I thought it was in my purse the whole time, and it wasn't. And I had not told my sister that I was arrived and I was fine and not murdered, and she was freaking out because I didn't let her know that I had arrived. She was texting me over and over again. She was the only person I told that I had met someone online and I was gonna go see him for the first time. So she was freaking out. She doesn't have social media, so she's then having to think, who should I call that's not our mom, because our mom would freak out. She's calling people saying, do you know the person that Jordan met online? This is his name. Can you look him up? We need to figure it out. She's not answering her phone. She's not texting me back. The whole time my phone is in the car, had fallen, and I thought it was in my purse. So we finished the date at Dave & Buster's. I'm not impressed. He's rolling his eyes. I'm just not a fan of all of it. And he then says, do you want to go somewhere else? And I'm like, no, not really. I would like to just go back to the hotel. And he's like, it's not even late. And I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. I drove a long ways. So he goes to the gas station, gets gas. He's planning to drop me off at the hotel. We drive by a little dive bar. It's called The Nest in Omaha. And he's like, why don't we just go there? And I'm like, I don't want to go there. He's like, we'll just have one drink and that's it. So we stop at the Nest, and I just can't continue talking to this person because he's clearly annoyed with everything I'm saying. He's rolling his eyes. Why does he want to keep spending time with me? I don't know, because I'm also judgmental. So we get a drink and I'm like, hey, let's play darts because I'm bored out of my mind of talking as he continues to be annoyed. So we play darts, and I'm normally really good at darts, and I actually was not doing well that game, and I was very frustrated. And so he then starts to make fun of me because I wasn't doing well at darts. And I was like, honestly, that was my favorite thing about him, was that he challenged me and was like, I thought you were good at darts. You know, I liked that. I like a little poking. I like challenging, a little spice. So I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. So I go to the hotel, I spend the night in the hotel, don't plan to see him again. He had to go because his son had a wrestling meet nearby. And on the way home, I was driving home, and he was texting me and was like, hey, so are we gonna plan to see each other again? And I was like, no, I don't want to see you again. And he said, I need you to tell me why. And I'm like, is this real life? So then he calls me and we talk on the phone, and he's like, I need you to give me reasons. Like, we talked for 2 weeks and everything was fine, and you show up. I know you didn't like my clothes, but you know what? They're clothes, they can be changed. Like, why do you not want to see me again? And so I said, you were rolling your eyes at everything I was saying at dinner. And he said, I totally forgot to tell you, I had LASIK eye surgery this week, and I forgot to bring my drops, and so my eyes were burning and they hurt really bad, but I did not want to complain because you were talking so much. So this is the story of how I met my husband.
This is literally my craziest story time I've ever posted on here. It's going to be the craziest story I've ever posted in general on TikTok. So you might want to grab a drink and a snack and sit down for this one. I almost died. So I had this best friend, we're gonna call her Kylie. You probably have seen her in some of my videos, but probably not anymore because I deleted every single one of her. Basically, I was dating this guy named Marcus. I have kept it off social media because I just don't want to put my relationship on social media. But I was dating him for about 3 months. He was literally so toxic, but the thing he just did recently just made me break up with him, like forever. Only my family knows about my boyfriend, and then my ex-best friend now. Kylie has her own boyfriend, and, you know, I was dating Marcus. Whenever Kylie would come over and I would be, like, going out with my boyfriend or something, I was like, can you help me find an outfit? And, like, I literally found this super cute dress. It was literally so cute. She's like, no, Marcus would not like that. I was like, what would he like then? And she says, what I'm wearing. I was like, can I wear it? She's like, no. It's been like my second like real relationship, but like this is the first one that's kind of like lasted, and he was very aware that I wasn't ready to do anything like intimate until like I was ready. And he low-key was being so impatient. He would be constantly be begging me, and I'd be like, no, we're not doing anything. I'll let you know when I'm ready, Marcus. He just wasn't patient with me, and he was constantly like begging me and stuff, and I just like was over it. I got to LA around like 12 in the afternoon, and so I got her notification like around 3:30 when she got home from school, and it was her. I was like, okay, perfect, she got in the house good. So I'm in LA hanging with my family in the hotel room, and I get a freaking notification on the Ring doorbell at 10:30 at night. I look, and it is Marcus. Marcus is at my house. I text him like, hey, I'm not home. I told you I'm going to LA. He's like, oh, like my bad. I was like, you're good. I told you that though. He's like, okay, it's fine. I'll leave. So he pulls his car to the side of the street. I just saw him leave the driveway. I thought he left. So I see his car leave. I'm like, okay, like, it's fine. And I literally get another notification at 11:30 at night, and it is a guy in a hood. I cannot see his face. Like, his face is, like, covered, and it's also dark, so, like, the lights were on. So I could not see who this person was. I'm like, who the fuck is at my front door at 11:30 at night? And I text Kylie, I'm a girl, like, there's someone at the door, just don't open it. If they try to do anything, call the police. I was praying he couldn't get in because we have, like, a keypad lock on our front door. So if you have a code, you can get in. 5 seconds later, I could not believe my fucking eyes. And I see this guy putting in my front door code, and he got into the house. I start freaking out. I am blowing up Kylie's phone. I am texting her. I'm like, girl, there's someone in my fucking house. Get out. Grab the cat, grab the dogs, go. Go to my next door neighbor. She's not answering my phone, and I am thinking something terrible happened to her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, we need to get home like right now. She's like, girl, it's fine. We'll call the police. They'll go over there and check it out. I get a phone call from Marcus. And I'm like, hello? He did not answer. I get this phone call and it's Marcus. I'm like, hello? Like, can you please go check on Kylie? There is someone in my house. Like, please tell me she left. No answer. I then hear like a really like heavy breathing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like please don't be hurt. Please don't be hurt. I was freaking the fuck out. Like I was so scared. I was shaking. My parents were trying to calm me down. I was basically hyperventilating. Like it was bad. I hear a faint voice, like in a female voice, and it says, "Screw her, you have me." I'm like, what the fuck? It's Kylie. Kylie and Marcus are in my house. I call one of my neighbor friends that live around me. I'm like, girl, can you please go in my house and video this? I need to know what the fuck is going on. Marcus and Kylie are in my house. Kylie has a boyfriend. Marcus is my boyfriend. He's like, yes, of course. So she literally runs down here, puts me on FaceTime, and I'm literally watching on FaceTime. She walks into the house, and Kylie and Marcus are on top of each other on the couch. The couch in my house. They are so busy doing whatever they were doing, they could not hear her come inside. She's literally standing there showing me on FaceTime what they are doing. And I am like this, in disbelief. First instinct is to say, what the fuck, really loudly. And I did. And Kylie heard me. They jump up and scream, "What are you doing here?" I'm on FaceTime telling Kylie and Marcus to get the fuck out of my house. You have no right to be in my house, especially hooking up. Hello? Marcus, you are my boyfriend. Kylie, you have a fucking boyfriend, and you're supposed to be my best friend. What the fuck are you doing in my house hooking up with my boyfriend on the couch? Just because I want to hook up with you, you're gonna hook up with my best friend. Okay. Have fun getting AIDS from her. She's a literal whore. I'm in disbelief. I'm like, what the fuck? That is literally my boyfriend, Kylie. You are absolutely insane. You are psycho. And I literally have her put her phone on, like, against the TV stand so I can see exactly what happens. And what she does is she literally goes up to Kylie, grabs her hair, and drags her to the floor. This bitch is full on naked, okay? She stomps on her. Baddie style. My mom and dad are literally outside of the room on the phone with the police trying to get their asses out of my house. After Kylie is on the floor, she literally goes up to Marcus and kicks him in the literal balls. He falls to the ground, and she's like, now you can't even use it for anybody anymore. The phone goes black. I'm like, what the frick happened? Like, her phone must have fallen. And I remember I have a camera in my family room. So I literally go on the camera app, and I literally see this whole entire thing from high. I am seeing this full-on baddies brawl style fight in my family room with my neighbor bestie and my best friend at the time and my boyfriend at the time. Marcus and Kylie are literally wailing on the floor, crying, of course, because she just beat the fuck up out of them. I know Kylie's phone password, so she literally grabs Kylie's phone and gets the fuck out of there. Literally 15 minutes later, the police show up. Of course, they're crying on the floor, and the police show up 5 minutes later, and my bestie opens up the door. She's like, they're over there. And they're like, okay, thank you. They literally come in, they put them in handcuffs. The police literally put them in handcuffs, and they walk out my house. Marley literally grabs Kylie's phone and bolts out the house. Dogs are hiding in the office because they're scared of what's happening. My cat is upstairs from the banister watching this. I can see him in the camera. Marley looks at her text messages, and they literally see the text message between Marcus and Kylie like, hey, I'm home now at her house. Come inside. And I locked the front door as soon as I left, so she would have to unlock it and then lock it to open the door again. So I obviously get the ring notification that Marcus is there. Marley is holding her phone, FaceTiming me, while she is holding Kylie's phone like this. And she's sitting on my bed right here. And I literally see them exchanging photos. Not believing my eyes, like what I am seeing. And she scrolls up more. And they have been talking since December. I got together with him at the very end of October. My lip color was not eating, so I have to redo it. I literally just started crying. I hung up. I called the police station by my house. I'm like, are they still in there? And they're like, no, they got bailed out. Of course they got bailed out. 12 hours later, of course. Marley takes her phone, throws it on the concrete, takes my hammer that I have in my garage, and smashes the fuck out of it. This bitch ain't having her phone back. No, she didn't back up anything, and no, she didn't transfer anything over because we destroyed the SD card too. Fuck you, Kylie. Miss Gurley bought Tate McRae tickets in the pit, and so Marley logged into her Ticketmaster app, got the password, and now I have the Ticketmaster. I'm going to the concert, and I'm gonna get there way earlier so she can't steal my seat. That's what you get for literally, hello? Home wrecking me and my boyfriend's relationship? No! You're glad I wasn't there. 3 days later, I am just still kind of shooken up. I go home. I get a text from Marcus. He says, hey, I need to explain. I am so sorry. Like, can we please talk? I'm like, what? What do we need to talk about? He's like, just let me take you out to dinner. Fine. You're paying, though. Because you did not just cheat on me. Like, I'm literally, like, still shaken up about it. He takes me to this really nice restaurant, this sushi restaurant, and we're sitting down. And he's like, I'm really sorry. I just was really in heat. And Kylie was the closest one he knew. So what I did is I took my drink and I threw it on his face, and then I punched him and I left the restaurant. I also took his car keys and crashed it. Oh, I did almost die. I was in the hospital for about a week. But yeah, thanks for listening to my story time. Don't cheat on me, okay? Just kidding, guys. That was a whole fake ass story. You probably knew it was a fake story, but thanks for staying. The ones that know that it's fake is gonna be staying till the end of this video, okay? But yeah, love you so much. Bye.
Quick story time of the time I was reached out to by the FBI as the president of my SEC sorority in college to collaborate with them in a sting operation. That's what I said. The year was 2016. I was a senior in college. I was sitting in one of my classes. I get a call from the Gainesville Police Department. I know it's that number. Immediately I'm thinking one of the girls in the sorority got arrested or something, like I'm gonna have to come down there. I pick up the phone even though I'm in class. I pick up and they're like, Lexi or Alexandra, this is with the police department. Would you be able to stop by right now? And I was like, I'm in class. What's up? What's going on? Is everything okay? I'm kind of panicking. And they're like, everything's fine. I was like, can you tell me what this pertains to? What's going on? And they're like, it would just really be best if you came in person. Can you come after this class? I was like, you've got me hooked. I leave after class. I walk over to the police department. I walk in and they're like, are you Lexi? And I was like, they bring me into this room. I sit down with a police officer, like an FBI agent. He shows me his badge. He essentially explains to me that someone or a group of people have been targeting and exploiting women, specifically sorority women, getting things like their nudes, hacking into their bank accounts, their Spotify accounts, all sorts of accounts. I don't know that they fully understood, or maybe I wasn't briefed on this, what the intent was, like if it was a financial thing. I don't know why. Basically, they asked me if I would be willing to work with them undercover in a sting operation to trap this person or this network of people doing this. I'm like, what? Girl, what? I'm like, what does that really entail? I'm so confused. They then go on to tell me that they've actually contacted the other sorority presidents, which was true. I talked to some of the other ones and corroborated this. Do you ever have something in life that you're like, that was so bizarre? Surely I dreamed that. That could not have been real life. This is one of those things. Again, this is 2016. This is like before even advanced Snapchat filters that are able to make you look like someone else. Photoshop was like for resumes. There was no advanced AI to change your face at all. They basically say, can we work with you and another girl in your sorority that you trust to create a fake girl? We will morph your photo and her photo and create this fake profile to lure this person in. I'm like, they take me and my friend Maddie. We still talk about this today. We're like, do you remember when we had an AI baby? They come to the sorority. They have like a professional camera. They take basically headshots of my friend Maddie and I. And then later they use their FBI technology to morph us together to create a person. She was really cute. I was like, if we ever were able to have a daughter, she'd be beautiful. We met him another time at a coffee shop to talk about what was going on, this FBI agent, because now it's me and my friend Maddie both working with him. He offered to buy us cell phones as like since we were like helping them for free, that's something they could expense. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I already have an iPhone. You're probably wondering what happened. I actually have no idea. We kind of just stopped talking to him about it. I don't remember if I don't think I was given a case number or a way to follow up on any of this information. So I have no idea if the person was caught, what the whole thing was, if this guy was a legit FBI agent or not. I did indeed meet him at a police station. We worked together. We created a fake girl to lure this freak or network of freaks trying to exploit sorority women. That's my fun fact.
Finished getting ready with me to go to the Monster Jam while I tell you guys how I got beat up by a man in my freshman year in high school over a man. This is one of those story times where I tell you guys that I used to love hood dudes that sold grass. I don't even smoke grass, but for some reason, men with no future used to always catch my attention. Divided, like the Hispanics hung out with the Hispanics and the black people with the black people. So sometimes the Hispanics would beef because they would both like sell grass, and the Hispanics would beef with the black people, right? And it would be like they would be beefing. I don't even know what they were beefing about. But my boyfriend used to sell grass, and he was one of the ones that was beefing with the black people over selling grass in the school or something like that. I don't even know. Basically, one time, my boyfriend at the time in freshman year, he starts beef with like the main dude that sells grass there of the black people. And it was genuinely like, I don't know what gang it was. It was literally like the suburbs of Houston. What were we fighting? Not suburbs, but like middle class. Y'all weren't struggling that bad. Y'all each had their own houses. I don't know why you guys were like fighting over that shit, but I did not get it. But clearly, my baby daddy was trying to get into a fight, yeah, because then he became my baby daddy. My baby daddy was trying to pick a fight with the black dude, picking a fight, and if things were getting rowdy, and I was just there like, no, stop, like, this isn't you, babe, this isn't you, stop, like, it's only 7 in the morning, 7 in the morning. And then the other dude from the other side, he goes, yeah, get your bitch, listen to your bitch. And that, like, he was a big 6-foot dude. He gets so freaking mad at him calling me a bitch. I was like, babe, at this point, it's okay, let him call me a bitch, it's fine. 4 dudes start jumping that one dude. So my baby daddy, my now baby daddy, but I haven't seen him in 4 years. Okay. They start jumping him. 4 dudes start jumping him. And I just start panicking. Okay, I panic. So guess what my dumb ass did, bro? Do you want to know what I did? I just grabbed I think I grabbed like the shortest dude. I'm pretty big. I'm like 5'8". I grabbed one of the dudes and I just slap him. And I'm like, get off of him. Get off of him. And I'm hitting him. I opened my eyes because I was fighting with my eyes closed. I don't know if y'all know, but I fight with my eyes closed. I was fighting with my eyes closed. I opened my eyes and all I see is him going like this. He punched me in the nose. He goes, I opened my eyes and all I see, like when I open my eyes up again, is that he punched me in the fucking nose. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm really freaking dramatic, like extremely dramatic. So I throw myself on the floor. I start crying. A whole riot broke out because then like the dudes were like, oh no, you just hit a girl, this and that. The principal comes, he separates everybody. They call the cops. My nose is like, I think it was kind of crooked. So then boom, they call my mom. My mom is freaking pissed. Like, she's so mad. She shows up and the cops are like, hey, do you want to press charges? I was like, no, don't press charges, please. I don't want to be the girl that snitched. Because again, everything was like very hood coded. I don't know for what. I don't know for why. Why was it so hood? We were literally freshman year of high school. It's never that serious. This isn't Boys in the Hood. It's literally just high school, bro. But I was like, no, I don't want to press charges and this and that. And my mom was like, we're pressing charges. So we press charges. She presses charges. We go to the hospital. I get like, I don't think I got suspended because I was the victim. So I was a victim. So I didn't get suspended. I'm always really good at playing victim, bitch. But I did hit him first. So after they checked the cameras and shit, they were like, oh, like, we're not going to press charges. Because it was basically technically self-defense. No matter if he hit a girl or not. My mom freaking loses it. She freaking loses it. She goes crazy in the office. She starts screaming. Everybody heard her screaming. Like, screaming at the principal. But after that, she still made me go back to the same high school. Still went back to the same high school. I was still dating the same dude. And then after that, I got jumped by 2 girls in the bus because, like, the bullying just wouldn't stop. Because, I mean, I was about to press charges on the dude. Like, first I was, like, all heroic and shit because I was the one who, like, jumped in for her man or whatever, like, ride or die. And then I was called a snitch the whole year, and I was just getting bullied for being fat. And that wasn't fun. Question of the day is, was I a real ass bitch for jumping in for my man? Or was I a stupid ass bitch? Or was I just a fat ass bitch that needed to mind her business? Please let me know down in the comments below. I thought I was real as fuck, but I don't know why I thought it was a Tyler Perry movie. I don't know why I thought it was Boys in the Hood. Why did I jump in for my man? I should have just minded my business. Why was I even dating a 6-foot grass dealer in freshman year? Daddy issues were really raging out.
So last night I sent my neighbor something a little skanky by accident, and she's my homie, so she laughed at me. I laughed at myself. We had a nice little laugh about it. I still might not ever fully recover from that exchange. In the sense that I could have accidentally sent that to like a mom from school. She was trying to Venmo me some money for something. And I don't really use Venmo that much. I use it to buy like breakfast burritos in the summer. And little background. If you've been with me for a while, you'll know that my lives and some of my videos attract a certain type of comments from men. And it's funny sometimes, haha. Sometimes it annoys the shit out of me. And I've made a couple of jokes like, if you want to leave nasty comments, you know, TikTok doesn't really pay me enough, so the men should be paying me in, you know, price of entry to leave the nasty comments. And a wonderful queen of a dominatrix a couple months ago was like, babe, you got to leave a Venmo handle so that these men can pay tribute. And I was like, is that a good idea? Is it a good idea? I don't know. I've never done anything like that before. My friends were all like, fuck it, do it. And so I forgot, because again, I don't really use Venmo, that I went in to Venmo and changed the photo to be a little thirsty. And then I freaked out, panicked, and was like, I can't, because what if, I panicked and I was like, what if people find out my phone number? I don't know. I had intrusive thoughts. I freaked out. I was like, how do I protect my identity? I'm not doing this, whatever. But I have not since shared my Venmo link with anybody until last night. I completely forgot that I changed the photo until I shared it in a text message last night. So when the photo populated in the link, I had to say something because I knew she was going to say something. I had to break the ice. That's me looking a little slutty. To which she said, looks like I'm paying you or feet pics. To which I said, my rate would be a lot higher. And while I'm so grateful that this interaction went down with somebody who would have thought that this was as funny as I do, I cannot let go of the fact that I could have just accidentally sent that link to somebody who didn't really know me very well, but who would have seen that photo and been like, that's a slut. Who is, in fact, selling pics to pay her mortgage. Because I do often wonder if that's how people think I pay my mortgage. Which, smoke if you got 'em, you know? I do have a mortgage to pay. Oh, man. This is the photo, by the way. Again, not thirsty. It's thirsty. It's thirsty. Like, it's not bad. But that's you post this as a trap. This is a trap. You know, this is this is lure. This is bait. This is you're hooking them in. You know what? I need to go mind my own business. Because nobody needs to have a Venmo photo like this unless, unless you're getting paid. And no hate to the game. There's no hate to the game. I'm all for the game. But like, you know what I'm saying. can you just imagine, like, hey, you got that $20 for these museum tickets for our kids today? And then you get that photo in a link.
I'm gonna tell you guys a story time of Coachella last year and why I'm not friends with the girl I went with anymore. So last year I went to Coachella weekend 1 and weekend 2. The first weekend I went with my sister and my best friend from Hawaii. They both live in Hawaii, where all three of us are like best friends. So I was coming back from weekend 1, dead as heck. I had a weekend 2 Coachella ticket, but I didn't know if I was gonna go or sell it. Anyways, I'm driving back to LA from Coachella. My one friend in LA calls me, hey, like, she broke up with her man, yada yada yada, he cheated on her, whatever, and then she wanted to hang out. So at the time, my friend, or should I say ex-friend, let's call her Sarah was in nursing school and didn't have a job, so anytime we hung out, I just like paid for her. I was like, she's gonna get me back when she becomes a nurse, it's okay, I always got her. So me, my friend from Hawaii, and my sister were all gonna go to Din Tai Fung. So I told Sarah, I was like, we're gonna go to Din Tai Fung, you can come with us. Yeah, I was like, you can come with us and I'll pay for you, it's okay. So she came with us to Din Tai Fung. Mind you, her man has cheated on her a million times plus one, but this time it was different because he cheated with his ex and they have been seeing each other for 3 months. She literally made me DM this girl pretending I was talking to her man, saying, hey, are you talking to Alex? And then she was like, yes, I am, why? And I was like, oh my gosh, me too. And then like it was just this whole thing where I had to fake talking to that guy. I don't know if this even makes sense, but yeah, basically I got the info. They've been seeing each other for 3 months. He just took her on a shopping spree for her birthday. Anyways, I did have that weekend 2 ticket and I was deciding if I was going to keep it or sell it because I had no one to go with. And then my ex-friend Sarah said that she really wants to go. And mind you, she doesn't have a job or anything, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll pay it. You can pay me back when you can. So there's still like a week until Coachella. Like literally she called me on my way back from weekend 1 and then we decided we were going to go together on that same day I came back. So in that time span from the week we have until weekend 2 Coachella, I saw her location at her man's house, like literally spent the night there. So I was kind of like second guessing my decision to go with her because I'm like, wait, like why did I do all that for? Like I could have just sold my ticket. I wouldn't have had to pay for her ticket and I wouldn't have had to do all this stuff, like DM the girl, like whatever. Like if you're just gonna go back to him, like what's the point? Okay, so fast forward, we go to Coachella together, we're having a good time, and then day 2, I literally black out pretty much. Like, I took something in the crowd, don't ever do that, and I was just done. I was done. Literally, this was me, and I had a worker who I met weekend 1 who was working like the campgrounds, just working the festival. I had his number, so I was texting him to help me, like please come help me, like I'm dying right now, like can you please like get a golf cart and like drive me to my car or something. And he did, but I gave my phone to Sarah and I was like, text him, is he replying? So anyways, yeah, the worker finally came. He drove me to my car, gave me water, gave me electrolytes. He was a literal angel, saved my life. And then Sarah drove us back to the Airbnb. The next day came and she was just acting really weird. Like she didn't want to drink, which is fine. I didn't want to drink either after I got so fucked up the day before. So it was just a sober Coachella. I was having a good vibe. Like we were taking pictures of each other, but like when we were dancing in the crowd, she kept standing like behind me and I kept going, come up, like, and she just like didn't want to. She was just being weird. So I was just like, oh my god, like she's really killing my vibe right now. Like I was having a good time dancing in the crowd by myself, but she was like killing my vibe. Anyways, I finally caught up with my best friend the other day, like literally 2 weeks ago. Mind you, this happened a whole year ago. When I was dead on the freaking floor, she went on my phone through my messages, typed her name in, and saw everything I've ever said about her. And she called my best friend and told her everything like she saw, and my friend barely told me because she didn't want to get in the middle of it. Basically, she violated my space and saw me telling my sister that I kind of regret like going with her. This was before Coachella when I saw her location at that man's house. I was like, she's not gonna pay me back for a while, especially because she's at that man's house. Like, why did I do that? So literally she was just pissed that I texted my sister that, and
Like, she was just pissed at what she saw, basically, so that's why she was acting weird. Day 3. I got so weirded out, like, a violation of fucking privacy. Like, she never confronted me about it, because how can you? Like, you went through my shit as if I'm your boyfriend. And I really did not say anything bad. Like, literally, I was just saying how, like, I regret it because she's at that man's house. Like normal stuff. Like, I'm allowed to vent to my sister. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh, this bitch, or like calling you ugly or fat or something. Like, but yeah, once I heard that information, I automatically unshared my location with her because she stalks that shit 24/7, and I took her off my Instagram because I'm just like, I don't have time to deal with this. Like, this girl has like done many things, but this was just like the worst of them all, and I was like, cut. But yeah, that's the story time if anyone listened.
So I matched with this guy, and his height wasn't in his profile. So my first question was like, hey, just wanted to know what year, how tall you are, and why you chose not to put that in your profile. And he said, like, no, how are you doing? Just straight to my height. And I was like, well, honestly, like, I'm not trying to waste your time. And then he's like, what do you mean? So I explained via voice note, and I was like, you know, I'm 5'7", I'm a big girl, I'm tall, I'm thick, I'm hefty, you know? And standing beside a man that's smaller than 5'9", it makes me feel like an ogre. It makes me feel unattractive, and that's so unfortunate that that's the case, and the patriarchy has done this to women. But that's how I feel, and it's not that I'm not attracted to their face, it's just I'm not attracted to the height, because then it makes me feel uncomfortable in my own skin. So it's really, and I was explaining, like, this has nothing to do with you, it's completely a me problem, and I acknowledge that, but this is just like the way I am, you know? I prefer to feel petite. And he replied by saying, like, well, I think you need to do some self-reflection. Maybe, but I know how I feel, and my feelings are valid. And just like we all have types, right? We all have preferences, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having a preference. What's wrong is being mean to those who are not in your preference. You don't have to be mean. You just simply don't, you know? Then and I said, like, yeah, it is a me problem, like 100%. And he proceeded to say, like, well, how much do you weigh? And, like, I'm not trying to be with a superficial girl anyway. And I was like, you know, I don't think it's being superficial. I think it's really about me and how I feel in my skin beside a man who, quote unquote, should be my protector in a sense, you know, someone who I should feel safe with, someone who I should feel confident with and beautiful with and happy with. And it's just my preference, you know? And then I proceeded to tell him I weigh 180. And that's okay, you know? Like, he tried to, like, be like, well, how much do you weigh? Well, honey, if I meet you, I'm gonna see how tall you are. If you meet me, you're not necessarily gonna know the number on the scale. But all that to say, I may be superficial, but at least I'm honest, and I know what I want, and I'm not gonna settle for less. Not to say that a short person is less, but it's just not what I want, and that's okay.
Talk about my date from last night while I get ready for a date tonight with an entirely different guy. The date that I went on last night was actually really nice. I had a good feeling going into it though. We met for drinks at this wine bar. I was actually surprised that I wasn't more nervous. We walked in and it was super busy, but we were able to snag a seat at the bar. We chatted for a bit before we even ordered anything, but the conversation was super easy. When we ordered drinks and the waiter asked if we wanted to start a tab, he told me to put my wallet away, and I appreciated that. I feel like I've been on so many dates, more than not, where we've gone like 50-50. So that was nice. We were there for at least 2 hours. He was asking me so many questions, which I appreciated. It seemed like maybe he might have been like a little nervous. He kept like apologizing for certain things he didn't need to. And I just appreciated like how inquisitive and curious he was. It was nice to go on a date that felt really easy and like there was no pressure. He was just a very disarming person, and that made it really easy. So we decided to go to another bar down the street, and I think we were there for probably another 2 hours. The date started at 7 and I got home at like 11:30 maybe. I would definitely see him again. He was just so nice. It's interesting, lately I feel like I'm finally becoming attracted to men that are nice to me. So I think I'm healing, which is great. I do love a man that doesn't want me. I think it's officially unappealing to me. It just feels nice to like not be, or to finally be put off by men who don't treat me well, which sounds like it should be a no-brainer. Unfortunately, it has not been. So tonight I'm meeting someone new, and we're going to like some, I don't know, it's like a rooftop bar or something at this hotel. I don't want to say that there have been like red flags. There were a couple of things that kind of made me go, I don't really know about this. He is a photographer. Yesterday was like, oh, maybe I'll, bring my camera and like we can get some like portraits of you. I've given a man the benefit of the doubt many a time, too many times. And 99.99999% of those times, I have been proven wrong. Like, it didn't feel creepy or anything. It was just like, I'm just meeting you, and I get that this is your craft and your career, but I'm a stranger and I'm just meeting you. I don't know if he thought maybe it would be like a selling point. I was not impressed. Sometimes people can be awkward. I have not been my best self on dates before, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. And maybe he'll be great. Maybe he'll be fine. Maybe he'll be a totally normal guy. I think I'm just growing into a different version of myself where I don't feel a lot of pressure to get things right. Like last night, I was entirely myself. Things that I wouldn't normally say when I really like a guy, I said or talked about, or even just my mannerisms. I guess maybe I'm going into these things with the mindset of like, okay, well, do I like them? Not do they like me? And if they like me, great. If they don't, okay. I need to do this off camera. Anyway, maybe I will be surprised tonight, and maybe it'll be great. Maybe we'll totally hit it off. And if we don't, then that's okay too. But at least I'm trying. Anyway, I'll be back when I figure out what I'm gonna wear.
Y'all, story time of how someone tried to catfish me. The glasses are coming off for this one because we're getting serious. But a video just popped up for me and it confirmed, like 100% confirmed everything for me. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Basically, this all starts off when my cousin texted me that this director of Stranger Things started to follow her on Instagram. Now, I had never heard of him, but obviously there's a lot of people that work on the Stranger Things set, so that didn't really make me feel weird or anything. I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. Since I'm such a huge fan of Stranger Things, I decided to follow him as well, because I'm like, that's so cool how, this huge director of one of my favorite shows of all time is following my cousin. So I follow him, And he follows me back and he DMs me. And if y'all think I don't have screenshots, your girl has screenshots. Basically, he started by DMing me, "What is up?" And I said, "Nothing much, just visiting my family. What about you?" And then he said the same, "You're very, very beautiful, by the way." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you. Where are you from?" Now, we go on to talk for a little bit, and then he asked for my number, which obviously I'm gonna give it to this guy. I'm like, oh my god, like, he seems legit. Like, his profile, he had, like, over 1 million followers, and he, you know, some verified accounts were following him. He had a ton of behind-the-scenes footage of all these shows. He had Netflix in his bio, all this stuff. Like, I'm like, okay, this guy seems legit. But I proceeded with caution because y'all know I can't take men seriously right now. So I was literally doing it as like a joke. Like, no way this guy's talking to me. If he is real, like, he is 100% talking to a bajillion other girls. Now, I'm hanging out with my family, but he starts to call me a lot. And we'd sit on the phone for like hours, bro, every day for a little bit. And then it started getting weird. Like, he started being a little freaky, and y'all know how I feel about that. I already have trauma from that, so I'm like, oh, hell no. And all my family members were like, no, Haley, like, and by this I mean my cousins are like, you can't fuck this up. Like, you just need to play into it. Like, he can get us into the Oscars or whatever. Because he also said he went to the Grammys, he's been to Oscars, all this stuff. Connections with all these celebrities. I'm like, okay. Like, it started becoming, like, less and less real to me the more it went on, right? But he started sending me these freaky-ass texts, and I'm like, ugh, ew, kill myself. And I literally am sitting next to my cousins while he's doing this, and I'm like, guys, like, what the fuck do I do? And, like, they, like, tell me what to say back or whatever, like, nothing too bad, you know? And I'm just sitting here and, like, ew, I don't like this guy. Like, if he was any other guy, he would have been blocked. But I'm like, you just gotta push through, like, for the fam, like, for the fame and the money. Which I know sounds bad, but, like, y'all should have seen the shit this guy was sending, bro. I don't even think I could put it on TikTok for real. It's bad. It's bad. And, like, this guy's, like, talking about, like, these private jets and shit, like, flying out to see me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, fucking right, bro. And I remember one time I'm like, I need to, like, FaceTime with this guy to, like, see if he's, like, actually real. And he, like, blew it off as, like, I'm not really in the mood to FaceTime, like... And then he proceeded to ask me for nudes. And I kept pushing it up because I'm not doing that. Like, one, I don't fucking know you. Two, we never even fucking met in person. Like, no, not doing that, ew. So I kept, like, pushing it off or whatever. And then I finally was like, I don't really want to do that. Like, no thanks. Like, I don't know you for real. Like, he tries to manipulate so bad. It's so gross. And I was just, like, sitting here on the other side of the phone, like, what the fuck? So then I did some digging. There's no Brad Curry that goes to Alabama because he claimed to play on the baseball team as well at Bama, but then he had to quit because he got hurt. No one named Bryden has played on the fucking baseball team at Bama, period. Like, he's not in the Alabama system at all, okay? And also, he gets really mad if you bring up that, like, jokingly he's talking to other girls, by the way. Like, he hung up on me for joking about that. Anyways, back to my research. And I, like, am searching him up. Like, me and my cousins are doing, like, a deep dive on this guy. Like, he is not real. And I tried reverse image searching some of the images on his Instagram, and I couldn't find them anywhere else, right? But I just don't have a good feeling about this guy, right? So I say, I'm not sending you nudes. Absolutely not, which... obviously no, like, I wasn't gonna do that no matter how famous you are, so sorry, but I don't even know you. And then he gets really mad at me, like, so mad, calling me racist, like, I would do it if he was white. I have the receipts, let me pull them up. Then he goes on to say, like, once a person lies to me, like, whatever, and I was low-key scared at this point, so I didn't really, like, you know, come at him the way I should have. But he says, like, I sent you stuff, which he did. It was disgusting. I didn't comment on it at all. And he's like, bro, I trust you with the shit I do in my career. Completely gaslighting me, bro. You don't even work with anyone. And he's like, I'll be brave enough to trust you with my stuff, which you're dumb if you work in the industry and you trust a random stranger with your stuff. Just saying. So that was sus to me. Also, he was supposed to visit me one weekend, and I'm like, isn't that, like, the weekend of, like, this very, like, well, like, the Golden Globes or something? He's like, oh my god, like, I completely forgot. Like, if you're in that industry, you don't just forget about that stuff. Anyways, we're continuing. Just forget it, man. I don't care no more. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't care. Like, this is me caring. He's like, yep, have a nice night. Once a person lied to me, that's it. I don't talk to them no more. And then I said, about sending intimate pictures to you. Okay, I understand that. Sorry for wasting your time. Like, what do you say to that? He's like, sorry if I wasn't white for you, but I wish you the best of luck. Bitch, what? So then I said, okay, I understand that. Sorry for wasting your time. He's like, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, you should have said no the first time. Like, why tell me you would do something? Like, if I was a bum-ass white dude, I bet it wouldn't be a problem. And then he's saying all this bullshit, like, first you lied to me, your family disrespected me, and by disrespect, like, they just said, like, he doesn't, like, they don't think he's real, like, my aunts and my mom and stuff, which is fair, they don't fucking know you. He's like, the only reason why you're not sending me something is because of what your family said about me, who don't even fucking know me. Mind you, I literally sent a paragraph about why I don't send, and it's just because I don't know and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I thought you already said you were done talking to me, because he literally said I'm done. And then I'm like, I don't know you, we haven't met, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you know what, fuck them for disrespecting me, blah, blah, blah. Like, he just kept on, like, going. Keeps going, disrespecting me, like, all this stuff. And he's like, first you lied to me, like, blah, 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 I don't know how much more of this I can take. And I'm just like, you already said you were done with me. Like, that's so weird. And then he, like, calls me, and I don't pick up, and I'm like, did you mean to call me? And then I pick up the second time, and I'm trying to explain myself, like, you're a stranger, like, that's why I didn't do it. And then he's like, bro, like, he just, like, kept cutting me off, like, he wouldn't let me state my piece, and he's like, you couldn't even just send, like, one? And I'm like, and what I was trying to say is, like, if you weren't mad about me not sending, and it was the concept of lying about sending them, why are you still bringing it up? But he wouldn't let me finish, and then he's like, bro, what if, like, I'm blocking you, like, probably gonna blah, 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 blocks me on everything. And then he says, you know what, fuck them for disrespecting me, blah, 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 they can drop dead and go to hell, bye. And then I said, like, you didn't even give me time to, like, speak my mind, because he didn't. He would keep interrupting my ass. And I didn't even see this text until, like, a couple days ago, but apparently he sent something else after blocking me. He said, I'm gonna get back at you for wasting my time. And I'm just like, oh, so threats now. And then I came across this girl's TikTok who went through the same thing, and apparently this guy is impersonating this guy. So yeah, he's not real. Like, I knew it from the beginning, which is why I didn't send, which is why I, like, ended it. And then he got all mad. Like, bitch, bye, you're a fuck-ass creep. But if he reaches out to you, don't fall for it. Just block his ass. I love y'all so much. Bye.
Okay, so how I found out I was getting cheated on. This shit is all fresh. Like, literally just happened yesterday. And I'm still trying to process it. I've been crying on and off since yesterday. And don't mind, we're supposed to be taking a nap on the couch, but someone don't want to go to sleep. But so, like, it started before yesterday. He finally came out and told me he cheated yesterday, but a couple of days prior to that, it was me, him, and our 2 kids, and I wanted to be with him, so we were dashing with him. So while he was dashing, me and the kids were in the car, and he was dropping us off at home, and I got out the car on the passenger side, went around, and was gonna get my daughter out the car seat. I opened the door, and there's a honey pack. He's never used a honey pack with me, ever. So I pick it up, and I look at him, and I'm like, bro, don't piss me off. And he was just like, oh, it's old. So we weren't together. We broke up November, and then we weren't together December, and we got back together in January. The time we weren't together, he slept with somebody else. Raw. Unprotected. Boom. I told him, like, I couldn't, like, 100% be mad at him because we weren't together, but it still hurt that you would... The moment we were not together, you go and you sleep with somebody. Mind you, I've been with 2 people these past 4 years. Both are the father of my children. And so, mind you, when we're on breaks, I don't even text nobody. Like, I don't even give nobody attention. You can text me and you be the finest man, and I'm still not going to answer. I don't got it in me. I just don't care. And so, boom, I let it go. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be mad at you. And it's so hard to be mad at him. And I'm like, I don't want to be mad at you. You're telling me it's old and it's from when you had sex with that girl? Okay. Mind you, I'm gonna be real. I like car sex just because it's like, it's a little edgy. We used to do it all the time in the beginning of the relationship. He don't want to do in the car with me no more. And I would tell him like, bro, like, you know, I like it in the car. Like, we could do it like a couple times, like every now and then. Don't want to. Always shot me down about it. Mind you, he was having sex with these girls in his car. I'm begging you for something and you're giving it to other people. Okay, anyways, okay, boom. We started talking yesterday. Everything was all good. I told him, we started talking about like moving in together, and I told him it's gonna have to wait a while. And then in the midst of talking about it, he got pissed at me. He was just like, you're dumb as fuck, you're a dumbass girl, da da da. Just started dogging on me. And I was like, bro, like, you're supposed to be my partner. Like, we're supposed to be able to like figure out whatever together. Not I tell you something that is potentially a problem or like a minor problem or whatever it is, and you start dogging me out saying I'm stupid and all this shit. And anyways, we started going back and forth. And then he was like, this is why I dog you. This is why I cheat on you. And I was like, cheat on me? I was like, you cheated on me? He was like, yeah. So like February or March, he cheated on me. He can't remember when. But he cheated on me and had sex with her in the car. Lied to my face. Mind you, he's told me multiple times like, oh, I would never cheat on you. That's some shit I would never do to you. Mind you, in the midst of us texting all last night, because I was hurt and I just wanted to know why, he just was like, he was like, I don't know why I cheat on you. So it's multiple. I don't get how you do that to somebody. I don't get how you look somebody in their face and tell them you love them. Okay, mind you, he was like, I think God was either telling me to stop cheating on you or I gotta let you go because I got caught up. You almost caught me up 3 times. And I kept telling him, everything you do in the dark, that shit always comes to light. And for me, I don't know why. I swear to God, I don't know if it's a gift from God, but I'll just be sitting there and I'll be thinking and shit will just start clicking in my head. And I'm like, wait, hold up. And I started catching on to lies. And I tell him like, oh, you lied to me about this. Oh, you lied to me about that. Boom. Found out about the fucking honey pack, right? Boom. One day I was just doing dishes. I was just fucking doing dishes. And I was just thinking, when we had broke up a while ago, I remember I had hopped on Hinge. And I'd seen him on Hinge. And his profile was old. It had old pictures of him and new pictures of him. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Deleted my account immediately when I seen him. Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to bump into him, you know? And so I'm doing dishes one day recently. And I was thinking about it. And I'm like, bro, I was like, are you on Hinge? And he was like, no. And he started lying about it. But yesterday he snitched on himself because he was like, you caught me up almost 3 times. And one of the reasons was him being on Hinge. And I'm like, bro, mind you, another thing, he fell out with his cousin because his cousin was telling my BD stuff and my other BD, and my BD was coming back and telling me. And it was just like, I don't know why I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt. I kept wanting to see the good in him. I have 2 kids with him. He's told me to abort them each time. But I did it because I love my kids. Like, I love being a mom. He wanted to abort them twice. Okay, I can understand the first one. Boom, he wasn't ready for a kid. Mind you, he purposely got me pregnant twice. Just to tell me to abort twice. Okay, boom. Before she was born, when I was just pregnant with her, I told him, right? And he was like, oh, you're nothing but a mom. You don't have shit to your name. You don't have a job. Da da da. Because I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. He was like, you're not shit but a mom. You're never going to be nothing but a mom. I was like, I told him on everything I love. I told him, I said, watch. I locked the fuck in. I was praying in the fucking shower one day. And I was praying and I was praying and I was praying. And what popped up in my head? Okay, so I was praying in the shower, and what popped up in my head was, like, pay attention. It's about to move fast. So I knew that was God telling me, like, I'm about to help you, but you need to pay attention, and I'm going to do it fast. The next month, got into school. The month after that, I got a job that paid dummy money. The month after that, I got an apartment. So literally within 3 months, I secured everything, and I was cool. And then I had my own apartment. Everything was good. And a voice in my head, like, I just started doubting myself so much. And I was just like, I can't do this alone. I don't know what to do. But then once I got my apartment, he tried to beg for me back. And that's the only time he's ever begged for me. So I started looking at it like, and then just based off of yesterday too, like, I told him it might be a problem of us getting an apartment right now, right this minute. And I just got hired for this work from home job just because I need a work from home job so I can help with my kids and stuff like that. He was like, so now the fact that there might be a problem with that, he's like dogging me. And I'm just like, bro, mind you, the only reason I'm not holding him to a standard to where he needs to have his shit together, he needs to be able to provide and stuff like that, is because he was in an accident last year. Like, he got hit by a car. And he's been in and out of surgery and all that shit. Which, mind you, how the fuck are you cheating on me and you're damn near disabled? Like, who does that shit? You just got your karma to hit you because he was such a bad person, bro. He was cheating so much on every female, dogging them the fuck out, dogged me the fuck out. And then he got his karma. You would think that shit would fucking, I don't know, do something with his brain to make him realize, like, maybe if I'm being a fucking bad person, I might want to change that shit before something else happens. No, the shit, he just went harder and got sneakier. I don't know how the fuck he cheated on me because I have his fucking location. Every time he was going out, he was sending me pictures. How the fuck were you doing that shit? When were you doing it? When I was asleep? And then what makes me mad, like even more mad, is I don't have nobody, so I can't talk to nobody about it. I walked out last night just so I could get some air, and I came back in, and my first baby daddy's little brother who's 17 years old. He sees me crying, and he has to fucking hold me. And I'm crying, and I'm texting my second baby dad, and I'm just like, why, bro? Like, what did I do? Like, what was I not doing for you? Like, I've never given you a reason to, like, stray. Not trying to be on no weird shit, but I'm like, I have a high sex drive. I like doing different shit, you know? I don't know what it was. And I'm like, bro, like, I've given you everything. I gave you love. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't go out. I don't text nobody. You could tell me. I don't give a fuck if you, like, he corrected me on, like, what, oh, Delsey, you're, like, wearing something that's a little crazy. Okay, I would have fixed it. Like, I'm not a trippy person at all. I really genuinely don't care. And I just don't know what the fuck I did wrong. And I was like, I gotta put all the pieces back together. And I got 3 kids, so it's like, I gotta put on a fake-ass smile and act like mommy's okay when mommy's fucking heartbroken, and I don't know what the fuck to do.
Get ready with me while I talk about embarrassing things that happened to me when I was in middle school. Okay, so the first thing is I was in 8th grade like 4 years ago, and the 8th grade dance was coming, and I wanted to have a date. So I asked this kid that I thought was cute on Snap. I texted him and said, hey, do you want to go to the dance with me? And he left me on opened. So then the next day at school, I went up to him and I was like, oh, I guess you don't want to go with me. And he just laughed and walked away in front of like a group of people, and it was so embarrassing. And then this girl, she texted a group chat saying hashtag just witnessed a rejection in the courtyard, and then put the ship name of me and the kid. The next thing is that I went to a Dolphins game, and at the time my friend, who I low-key did have a crush on, was going with me. And I got this V-neck shirt, and I tied it a certain way to make it look like I had bigger boobs than I did, even though I literally had no boobs in 8th grade. And I just find that so embarrassing because there was literally nothing to push up, nothing to make look bigger. The next thing that was really embarrassing is I had this one teacher who was literally just a bitch. Like, this lady literally had it out to get me, and she was my A-push, or my U.S. history teacher. And I remember one time there was this girl in the class. She asked the teacher how much something costs. Mind you, the entire class was like, why would you ask her that? And I just happened to be the last person, and I said, yeah, why would you ask her that? And the teacher looked me directly in the face and was like, why do you embarrass people like that? Why do you try to make people look bad? You just do that for the shock factor. I don't remember what exactly she said, but she was being so rude to me, and I literally almost started crying because I was like, why is this lady getting on me? The next thing is that same teacher literally tried to accuse me of cheating on her test. Like, I don't even know if this is like embarrassing, but it kind of did make me feel embarrassed. I used to talk to my friend when the bell rang, and my friend had her class before me. So after a test, I would go up to her and I'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, I wouldn't ask her for the answers. I would just say, was the test hard? And then the teacher saw us talking, so she went like this, and I went in the room, and she was like, are you trying to cheat on my test? And I'm like, no, miss, like, I'm trying to talk to my friend. Like, I don't know why she was being on my dick, but she was. So, okay, so the same friend that I went to the Dolphins game with, I actually did like him. I don't really know why, but I did. And we stopped being friends because I was acting too crushy. And, like, I honestly, that low-key is kind of embarrassing. Like, it just is. Okay, now we're gonna go over to freshman year. So freshman year, I was putting up posters or something with my friends in the math hallway, and I had my period, and the blood got onto my leggings, and I was fully bent over with like a brown patch just on my leggings, like roaming free. This is a gem. So the first time I ever got a period, I was in 8th grade, and it was like literally the last day of school, and I was wearing like a light color. And I remember being in the bathroom, and I was like freaking out because I didn't really know what to do. So I go in my backpack, and I'm trying to find the emergency pad that is literally squelched at the bottom of my book bag, like squelched underneath everything. So I grab it, and then I drop it on the floor, and then I grab the other one, and I drop it on the floor. And I was like, well, there's no way I can use it now. So I'm literally running around like a chicken without a head, asking everybody and their mother if they had a freaking pad, and I didn't. Nobody did. So I had to go all the way to the freaking clinic and ask the nurse for it, which just humbled me so bad. Keep in mind, my dad had to pick me up from school that day. Okay, another thing that happened that was low-key embarrassing, this is not in 8th grade, but my first day at a new job, I was driving to work, and I had to be at work at like 6 in the morning, and it was like 5:30, and my car started to like tweak out, and my engine was overheating. So I had to explain to my new boss why I was late to work, and it just like, I like thought they were gonna fire me because I was so worried because my engine was overheating. My makeup is all done, so everyone have a great day.
Story time on how I quit my 9 to 5 to become a hoe. Now, I do want to say I was already hoeing before I got my first job. I got my first job at 18 years old at a nursing home. I liked the job. I had got it around the time that I was graduating high school. I was in my senior year, and I was there for about a year or two. Like I stated before, I had got my first apartment at 18. I moved out after I graduated high school. I also enrolled myself into college. I was going to my college courses and going to work, being a regular person. But this one particular day that I clocked into work kind of changed everything. My coworker came in at 5:30 in the morning. Instead of him being a normal person and said, "Hey," he grabbed my ass. He grabbed my ass. Not only did he grab my ass, I told him to stop, and he kept bothering me, and it was on camera. There's cameras there. It was on camera. Follow with me, though. I felt uncomfortable, and I grabbed my phone, and I started recording me trying to work, and he just kept bothering me, and I was just telling him, I want to work alone. So I texted my other coworker. I went downstairs. I showed him the video, and he's like, damn, like, you got to tell somebody, right? At first, I didn't want to tell anyone because a certain situation occurred like 2 days before that. So 2 days prior, it was a new hire. He was hired as a CNA. I think he was African, if I'm not mistaken. And he had asked for my number, and I declined. He told me he was 20 years old. He clearly wasn't. The man was like at least 40 or something like that. And he was just asking me questions like, oh, how far do you live from here, and etc. I told him I wasn't interested, but he wouldn't leave me alone. So I had spoke to the other CNAs, and I told them about him, and this girl was like, oh yeah, he keeps bothering me too. I told him I got a husband, and he just keeps being in my personal space. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go report him. I did report him to the supervisors. He ended up getting fired. Now, the reason he got fired is not just because of me. It was because me and another person made a report on him within the same day. They just let him go. I mean, he was new anyway. So let's keep that in mind on why I didn't want to say nothing. Once I told the supervisor that my coworker grabbed my ass, they all like changed the narrative on what really happened. You know, they were trying to gaslight me and tell me that that's just how they greet people in his country. Mind you, this nigga is Trinidadian, but he's American. They don't greet niggas just by grabbing your ass. Wanna know how I know? Because I'm Trinidadian. So they all went telling him, like, yeah, she just got someone fired, so you need to go apologize to her. Mind you, this boy who did it is like 23 or some shit like that. So he's a lot younger than the other CNAs. So they all kind of like flirt with him. So they dismissed what he did to me because they allow him to do that shit to them. Me, I'm not going for it. If I didn't give you permission to touch me, don't touch me. Especially because I didn't get paid from it. So I figured, all right, they're not doing nothing. They're telling me that's just how he greeted me. I told them to look on the camera so they could see how he did it. They refused to. Nobody looked at the camera to see when he touched me, even though I made a claim that he touched me. So I was like, everywhere I go, men take advantage or do little things to me. Like, why the fuck am I even trying to do the right thing? You know what I'm saying? I was in school and going to work and shit. It's just like, no matter where I go, I kid you not, bro, it's a man like violating me. So I'm like, nigga, I'm just about to go back. And that's what I did. I went back. At least I'm gonna be getting paid for a nigga touching me. I didn't get paid for him to touch me in there. I didn't get paid for that. And a lot of y'all are so mean. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just simply sharing my story. I did change my life around. I'm not doing what I used to do anymore. I'm literally just sharing my story. But yeah, nobody did anything, and I just took it as, well, this is what I was destined to do. Like, do what I know how to do best. Have sex appeal, get money from these niggas, and that's exactly what I did. I can't go nowhere without someone staring me down, trying to touch me, trying to talk to me. I can't go anywhere, and that's till this day. So I kind of feel like that was a path I was supposed to go into. You know what I mean? As, you know, months passed, somebody told me that I could have sued my job for doing that. I don't know if I could still even do that because I feel like it's too late now. But yeah, I haven't had a job since then. I'm 20 now. So it's like... But yeah, that was my story. Thank you for watching. Follow me. Mwah.
So I found out I was pregnant as a junior in college, and when I found out, I was already 6 months along. But I realized I'd never, like, told the story about how I actually went to the hospital and found out I was pregnant. So for reference, I gave birth to my baby in January of 2025. So all of this takes place in September of 2024. So I had just gone back to school. I was back home for the summer. I went to school 800 miles away. So I was back home for the summer, and I just returned to school, and I started noticing that my body was doing really weird things. I noticed that I was really bloated all the time. Every time I ate something, I would have extreme bloat, but then my stomach would go back down to normal. So I thought it was fine. I was also having a lot of digestion issues, and what ultimately led me to going to the hospital was that I didn't shit for 2 weeks, and I tried everything, like laxatives, everything. And mind you, I had gotten my period every month at this point, so I really didn't feel anything about it. So I eventually went to the hospital after I didn't shit for 2 weeks, and when I went there, I was like, my stomach just doesn't feel right. Like, I started to kind of feel like it might be something more serious, but I wasn't really like sure exactly what was going on. So when I got there, I went by myself. I had told my boyfriend I was going to the hospital, and I was in the ER for a while, and I told them everything and how I was feeling, what was going on. So they decided to do an order of an ultrasound on my intestines. So I'm sitting there waiting, everything. The ultrasound tech comes in, and she starts going on my lower stomach. Well, as you know, that's where the uterus is, and that's where the baby grows. So she gasped louder than I've ever heard anybody gasp in my entire life. And the first thing she said is, "Oh, honey, that's a baby." What? So I look at her, I go, "What?" And she's like, she flips it around, full baby, 6 months into pregnancy. It's a full baby, fully developed baby. So I start, obviously, vigorously shaking. Even recalling this story, I start to shake again because I remember that feeling so vividly.
I will never forget, I had this one nurse, she was an angel. Oh my gosh, she was so nice. She sat there and cried with me on the side of the bed. And so I call my boyfriend and I'm immediately like, you need to come here right now. And he's like, okay, like I'm at work, but I'll come when I can. And I'm like, no, you have to leave work right now and come right now. Also, I know this looks crazy, but just trust, I fake tan, so it's bad. So he's on his way. I call my mom and my sister. I'm obviously hysterical at this point, sobbing. And in the same day, my sister gets laid off of her job. Now, I live 800 miles away from all of my family. So my sister hopped in the car and started driving because it's like a 12+ hour drive. So she just started driving. Now, I'm not really going to go into like the details of my boyfriend finding out because that's his own personal experience and I don't really want to share, like, I don't want to speak for him or share his emotions, but he did get to the hospital. We sat there, we processed it together, and then started freaking out. So the thing about finding out you're pregnant in the ER is they obviously can't do like an anatomy scan. You have to like book with a gynecologist. So the nurse at the ER, the really nice nurse that I would literally never forget her. She was incredible. She called the gynecologist that was close in relation to the hospital and told them my whole situation and everything. Because if you know anything about gynecologists, you literally have to book an appointment 3 years in advance to get in that shit. So she called the gynecologist and she was like, I got your appointment all booked. Like, they're going to get you in for an anatomy scan this week. But until then, the anxiety I have felt, I will never feel that way again. Because I obviously didn't know I was pregnant. So I didn't get any prenatal care and I thought something was wrong, especially because I didn't feel any kicks and I was convinced that something was horribly wrong, unfortunately. Luckily nothing was, and everything went well with the anatomy scan, but it was just such a scary time. So I also found out the gender of my baby at the anatomy scan as well, because obviously I was 6 months along, so that was good too. But I will never forget when I was in the ER and I was talking to the nurse, the beautiful nurse that was with me the whole time. She told me, she was like, I am staying with you until you leave this place. I am not, because she was supposed to switch out. She was like, I can't in good conscience switch out with you. And she was on the phone with my mom, talking with my mom. I have just never met a nurse that cared for me like this one did. And she did tell me in the hospital, because I started literally panicking because I thought something was wrong. And she was like, I can't tell you anything, but she was like, I'm just gonna say from what I see, you can calm down a little bit because nothing looks immediately wrong and there's a very steady heartbeat. So I was like, okay, thank God. So I had just started classes at this point for my fall semester, and at this point I already didn't know I was pregnant because I wasn't showing. And once I actually started to show, I still didn't do any pregnancy announcements. I didn't do anything. I just had a baby and then announced it probably 5 months later. Announced it. It's weird because I just didn't feel the need to do all of that. I don't know. I'm just typically a very private person, which is why it's very weird for me to be sitting here talking about this, but it actually is really good for me to just get it out and rehash it, and I don't know, I guess just talk about my feelings about it. But yeah, I am so grateful everything turned out the way it did, and in hindsight, it was absolutely crazy, but you never really, even if you're trying for a baby, it's you never know what to expect unless you have the baby. So I believe that you can't ever truly be ready. I don't know how to explain it. Obviously I wish I was a little bit more prepared, but you can't fully, I don't know, you can't fully prepare for something like this. Now people ask me all the time, oh my gosh, were you drinking, were you smoking? And I tried to drink on a few occasions, but something in my gut felt wrong, and I was this drink doesn't taste right. It literally made me feel sick, and I think that was God trying to be girl, don't do this. So I never, I really didn't drink throughout my pregnancy or anything. I would have a sip and be oh, I do not feel good. Now truthfully, I'm gonna be really transparent. my bigger concern was that throughout the summer I had been vaping. Now I had like tapered off and quit fully by the time I found out I was pregnant, but I was vaping like in the early summer, so I was really, really worried that had obviously caused something, and thank God it didn't. But oh my gosh, it was the most nerve-wracking thing ever. And talk about mom guilt, like, hello. Anyways, I've dragged this on for way too long, but yeah, that was a story on how I found out I was pregnant. The craziest shit in the world, bro.
Showing how my ex-best friend got pregnated by my boyfriend. I found out all of this when I was on vacation, by the way. Background info, I literally met Kylie my freshman year at a party. And then I met Marcus at a gathering with some mutual friends. Me and Kylie were literally like inseparable. I brought her on a bunch of vacations with me and my family. I was like attached at the hip with her. Marcus was, you know, your average white boy with brunette hair, and obviously he played baseball. Have like little arguments here and there, but like nothing big. We've never broken up. I did catch him talking to a girl one time when we were literally together for 3 months, and you know, he apologized and like he never did it again. So like I thought he was a changed man. Basically, I have this trip in Orlando, so I need someone to house sit my pets. So I'm literally asking Kylie, I'm like, hey girl, like, can you come over, like, stay at my house for a little bit and watch my animals while I'm gone? She's like, of course, girly, like, I got you, you know. So she was house sitting. I got a re-notification that she arrived, and I was like, okay, perfect, like, let me tell you everything that you need to do. She did let me know she was going to a party that night, so she was gonna leave around like 9 and then wouldn't be home till like 3. Marcus told me he was going on a camping trip with his best friend, so we're like, okay, perf. That day I was literally at downtown Disney, so I was walking around, you know, and I was texting Kylie that she got in good. I did let my parents know that Kylie was gonna be leaving for a party, so they just like knew. I'm literally in line at Matterhorn, and I get a text from a random number with a picture of Kylie making out with some dude. I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do with that? Like, girly is her own person, like, why should I care? I literally sent a question mark. I'm like, what is this? And they're like, oh, like, Kylie's making out with this guy. I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay, like, who is it? And she's like, his name's Marcus, I think. My stomach drops at that moment. I'm like, no, like, it can't be my Marcus. He's literally on a camping trip with his boys. So I thought. She literally sends me a video, and it is my Marcus. Video of Kylie and Marcus literally just going at it. So I'm really, really furious at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait till I get home so I can beat her ass. I wasn't gonna confront her. I wasn't gonna let her know that I know. I didn't text Marcus. I'm gonna make him think that I know that he's camping. I get a notification at the doorbell, and I literally see someone dressed in all black with a hoodie over his head at my front door. I'm like, okay, like, who the fuck is this? Like, I'm like, okay. Also, I wouldn't think that Kylie would invite Marcus over because I literally have camera footage, so why the fuck would she be so stupid? I text Kylie, I'm like, hey, who is that? She's like, oh, it's just my brother. He's dropping off breakfast to me. I was like, okay. Goes inside. I could only imagine who's inside my house right now. I'm like, it's fucking Marcus. I know. We have one of those like Ring cameras for inside the house, and it's up on the bookshelf right in the middle of the family room. I opened the camera app on my phone to see Kylie and Marcus on the couch, you know, just going at it. Mind you, my dogs are right in front of them. I'm actually so disgusted. I call my neighbor friend Marley over, and I text him like, girl, can you please go over to my house right now and beat one of them up? She's like, girl, I got you. And like, not even 5 minutes later, she's at my house. I see her on the camera. Marley literally barges in with her purse and just starts hitting them with her purse. Just like, I'm watching this entire thing on camera, by the way. I'll try to find the footage. I promise you guys, it was so fucking funny. She is just bam, 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 like just like whacking them with this purse. My mom is literally on the phone with the cops saying like, get these people out of my house. I don't want them there. Cops are on the way. Marley's just whacking the shit out of them. Mind you, I'm literally in line for Matterhorn waiting to get on this ride while Kylie was on that ride. Cops show up. They grab Kylie and Marcus out of my house and put them in handcuffs and take them outside. I tell her to go check around the house, see if they left anything behind. There is a pregnancy test in the trash can, and it is positive. You know, when her brother was delivering breakfast, there were pregnancy tests in that bag. And she is pregnant. She goes through his phone for even more and finds out they've literally been, like, on the low for a good month and a half. Me and Marcus have been dating for about a year now. It's sure as hell not my pregnancy test. So basically, she's pregnant. I don't know what's gonna end up happening. But yeah, I'm like hysterical at this point. And I'm like, seriously, like, are we for real right now? Like, I was so pissed, you guys. A week later, I get back home from my trip, and all I can think about is going to her fucking house and beating the shit out of her. And guess who was at Kelly's fucking house? Marcus. So I grab my keys, I rush out of there, and I slice his fucking tires. Key the side of his door. I'm genuinely like appalled at them. Like, I'm like, I can't. But yeah, the cops got involved. They're trying to press charges on me, but like, do you blame me? I have a good lawyer, so it's fine, but it truly, like, they're pressing charges against me. But yeah, my court hearing is literally next Tuesday. But yeah, Marley is a real one. We love her. That's it. That story was fake. April Fools. If you guys are real ones, you probably know that this story's been told before, like almost a year ago. I'm just like, y'all literally, like, you're like, Marley was a real one, so I had to bring her in the story again. I did switch up some things, so let's see if you can find my old story and compare it. That's it. Bye.
I did get gender fished. I don't know what you would call it, catfished. And I want to preface the story by saying no hate, no tea, no shade. Everybody from every community deserves love. You just got to get it from somebody who wants to give it back to you and who knows what they're getting themselves into. But anyway, so back in like insert date, I don't want to give no dates, I might get myself caught up with somebody else. Anyway, I was talking to this guy. We were getting to know each other. He was black, he was fine, and when you think about a good man, you could think about him. He was attentive, he was a good conversationalist. He had a kid, I have 2 kids. He was smart, he knew how to spark my interest, he knew how to leave a little mystery. Everything was going pretty good. Well, for our first date, we went out to dinner. It was a nice steakhouse, everything went good. He ended up, he went back home, I went back home. I live like 40 minutes away from Houston. He lived in Houston. Not that that matters, but yeah, we ended up just going home. So, when we first started talking, you ask the usual questions. Do you still fuck with baby daddy? Do you still fuck with baby mama? When he asked me, I let him know that, me and my baby dad are cordial. We're still, friends, but it's really nothing more than a co-parenting situation. Now, when I asked him, does he still fuck with baby mama? He was real quick to be like, nope, don't talk to her at all anymore. So, I'm gonna take his word for it. I liked him so far. I thought he looked good. I thought he had it going on. So you tell me you don't fuck with baby mama, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna sprint with it. So yeah, we kept on talking, and when you're talking to somebody and you kind of just got that feeling like, ooh, we're gonna end up together. I was feeling that. Very much was feeling that. He was an amazing guy, like through and through. No hate, no tea, no shade. All right, so anyway, second date rolls around. And this time he's invited me over to his house for a movie, which I was 100% down for. So I get to his house, we get comfortable on the couch. He wasn't suggestive of anything, you know what I mean? He wasn't pushy, he wasn't asking for it, he wasn't like overly flirting. It was just like a chill little movie date, like real innocent, real cute. We ended up watching about 2 movies, and by that point, straight up, we're grown. If he wanted it, he could have got it, but he wasn't suggesting it, so obviously I'm gonna about it. I ended up driving back home. He was already at home. We kept on talking. Things were still good. We just kept on talking like people who are getting to know each other, getting ready to date would. So a little while after that, we ended up meeting up at Herman Park. We went for a walk, so obviously I had on tennis shoes, right? Well, when it was time to go back to the car, he ended up coming to sit in the car with me. And I remember I was gonna take my tennis shoes off and put my slides on, but my toenails were looking fucking busted. And I was like, ooh, I don't think I'm gonna take these off right now. And he was like, no, take them off. Like, I'm not gonna judge you. Like, this is no judgment for real. Like, no judgment zone at all over here. And I was like, in my mind thinking, it wasn't that crucial, but damn, like, I know he ain't judging me by no means. And I also noticed, like, the whole time we were out there, he kept adjusting his sweatpants in the front, like, you know how men do when they readjust themselves down there. So in my mind, I'm thinking he's just working with a monster, but that's neither here nor there. So anyway, that little date came and went. and our next date was back at his place, nighttime. I pull up. He has like the cute dim lighting in his living room. He opens the door with no shirt on. And like, I knew he had tattoos all over his arms. And, you know, I saw some on his neck because that's what shows through the shirt. He opened the door with no shirt this time. And I'm like, damn, you got an intricate chest piece there. Like, that's a nice tattoo. I didn't know you were like fully tatted from the neck to the waistline though. So like, caught me by surprise, but I liked what I saw. So it wasn't no big deal to me. And by this point, we were like a month and a half in, maybe 2 months. I don't really remember. But I started asking about the tattoos, and I was like, you know, do they have any meaning to you? And he was like, not really meaning, more so purpose. And I was like, purpose? Like, what's the purpose of a tattoo? And he was like, hiding some scars. And I was like, scars? I don't know. For some reason, instantly, I thought, like, did you get burned or something? Like, what scars are you covering? And he was like, no, like scars on my chest, like I had surgery. And I was like, open heart? So I'm thinking like he had open heart surgery, and he was like, no, not that kind of scar on the chest. He was like, I had something removed. And I'm like, all right, you're like playing around too much, you're beating around the bush. Like, tell me what you did. Like, what are you covering up? Now, I'm going to tell this next part of the story as sensitively as I can, because truly, no hate, no tea, no shade. But that's when he broke it to me that he has had top surgery. And, you know, I'm not dumb. I know top surgery usually comes with being transsexual. So, obviously, I'm taken aback, but I wasn't going to be rude about it. I was like, top surgery, so you know you're trans, like you were born a female? And he was just like, yep, like so normal about it. Like, he knows I didn't know. I for damn sure didn't have no clue, because this was a beautiful, handsome ass man. Like, not saying trans men cannot be beautiful and handsome. I'm just saying, like, I had no indicator that he was trans. And I mean, by this point, we had kissed on each other, we had rubbed on each other. Like, I don't know how I didn't catch on. I don't know. But I would say, like, I felt a tad bit, I don't know, I don't want to say weirded out, but yes, the feeling was a little weirded out. I'll just be honest, because I didn't know I was getting myself into that. And that's when I was just like, you know what, I think like I need to go home and, you know, think on how I want to move with you next. I was like, because this is new to me, and I can't even be 100% that I would want to continue talking to you in this manner. Like, I don't know. And, you know, he was pretty understanding of that. He was like, okay, like, go home, think on it. He was like, I really hope this doesn't impact anything, because I felt like we had a good connection. And, like, high key, I thought the same shit. But, like, I don't know. I just have never been in that situation. I didn't know if I could give him what he needed. I didn't know, like, how to navigate that situation with him. And I'm not gonna lie, like, in my mind, I instantly knew I was not gonna continue this on. I didn't want to give him the impression of leading him on, but I also didn't want to straight up be rude and be like, oh no, I'm not doing this with you. And, you know, the whole drive home, he was texting me. He was like, I'm not gonna say you're transphobic, but I would say, like, your opinion on trans men probably needs to change, because, like, you don't sound very smart when it comes to dealing with trans men. And so I straight up asked him, I was like, aren't there like extra things I would need to do for you in order for you to be comfortable with me? Like, for one, fully accept who you are. Not saying that I don't, but there's certain things that I've already done with men. There's certain experiences that I've already done with men that I know I wouldn't be able to experience with you. And I think y'all know what I mean. And he started bringing up, you know, dystopia. Sorry, y'all. Dysphoria. And not saying I can't be an accommodating person, but I don't think I would have had it in me to help him deal with his gender dysphoria. Like, I don't know how to cater to that because I'm not one in y'all's community. And, you know, he said he wasn't going to call me transphobic. He just said that I'm a little ignorant on the subject. And maybe I am, but I do feel like I was emotionally intelligent enough to at least let him know, like, hey, I can't deal with this. But am I wrong for that? Was I wrong for that? I don't know. But yeah, y'all let me know, like, did I handle that right? Was I wrong? I don't think I was wrong. But, I mean, he blocked me on everything before he gave me a good lecturing. Well, after he gave me a good lecturing, so. Okay, y'all, so I clearly, you know, like, I skipped around and I didn't maybe hit every point that I should have in the video. But I'm not gonna lie, I was shaking like a leaf uploading that video, and I was literally getting nervous and losing my breath while filming it because I didn't really want to offend anybody with the video. But yes, he was the baby mama. But, you know, as you see from the video, he is a trans man, so he now just refers to himself as the father. And I did end up asking him about that, you know, as I was letting him know that I didn't want to continue on with him. But the reason he said he doesn't talk to her anymore is because he has deaded that part of his life. He doesn't associate with being a woman anymore. So that's why he was like, no, I don't talk to her at all anymore, because in his mind, you know, she's done, she's gone. So yeah, he was the baby's mother, but now he just considers himself a father, and I respect that.
When I was 17, I became friends with this girl, and she lost her father. So it was really sad. We went to school in Southern California together. She was always kind of quiet, kind of shy, just like really kept to herself. But her and her dad were really close. You could just tell, like, when you saw him come to pick her up at school and stuff like that, you could see how close they were. So it was really sad. And she was his only child. You know, the mom, I didn't know her that well, but the mom was from New York originally. So after the dad passed away, they moved back to New York to be with the grandma, the mother's mom. And my friend, her name was Jane, she was like, you know, like I said, she didn't really open up very much, but I could tell just from knowing her for years and kind of picking up on her, the little hints she would drop, that she didn't have the best relationship with her mom, and that, like, she barely knew her grandma, and I guess her mom and the grandma were estranged from each other. So I thought that it was kind of a strange decision that they made to go back to New York. But also, you know, grief makes us do crazy things, so who am I to judge? I was 17 at the time. I also didn't know very much about life, so, you know, I wished her well. I was hoping we'd keep in touch, but back then, like, social media wasn't so much of a thing. So yeah, we kind of lost touch. But through the grapevine, I did hear that, you know, she'd settled in, and actually she met someone in New York. So she was finishing out her senior year there. She'd never lived there before, and she met this guy who, and that was, like, really surprising to me and to all of our friends, because she was very much someone who, like, never dated, never expressed any interest in dating, never went to parties. Like, she was cool, she was a friend in our group, but, like, she was just the quiet one. She was the introvert. She'd stay at home reading. Like, she wasn't really involved in, like, dating or going out at all. So I was kind of shocked to hear that, like, oh my gosh, like, Jane got a boyfriend? That's crazy. And then, like, you know, she told me a little bit about him. At this point, like, Instagram was just starting out, so she was getting on there. I was, like, seeing pictures of them together. And he seemed like a really cool guy. She told me she was learning martial arts with him, which, again, very surprising. She was, like, not athletic, always would do anything she could to skip PE. So it was, like, really interesting to see this transformation in her. So I was like, okay, great for her. Like, she's found happiness, like, after losing her father. That's amazing. Then I hear through another friend of mine that apparently, like, all of this crazy stuff is coming out in New York, like, among the students there. And, like, my other friend, like, our mutual friend, was keeping more in touch because she was actually originally from New York. So she, like, knew a bunch of people there. She knew people who are now meeting Jane. And I guess there was this weird thing, like, two different layers, right? So at the school, like, with the students, kids our age, so Jane's boyfriend, his name was Liam, he like had this best friend. I guess he'd had her forever, and it was like this thing in the school where everyone knew that like his best friend, her name is Lacey, was like in love with Liam, like for their whole childhood growing up, and like their moms were friends. He actually lost his father at a very young age, coincidentally too. And I think Lacey, like similar situation, so their moms became friends, and they were like, they grew up like almost brother and sister, but she kind of always had this like crush on him that was very obvious to everyone that like went to school with them, except to Liam, of course. He was like completely oblivious to it. And like people could confirm, like going to school, like, yeah, it's kind of funny, like she's obsessed with him and like he just doesn't really care, or doesn't know, I guess I should say. Like he's like her best friend, but like a sister, you know? So anyway, now they're in this like kind of weird love triangle. I've got cats running all over the place, where Jane is with Liam. They're like genuinely in love. Jane has just moved to New York. She doesn't know anyone there. She just lost her dad. And now there's this girl who's like Liam's friend, but she's like got not the best intentions maybe, and like I don't really know what the situation was, but this girl also has like a lot of mental issues. So it was just kind of like a contentious situation, and I was like, okay, hearing about this through the grapevine, like Jane wasn't really telling me herself, so I'm just like, I hope she's okay, like I just want the best for her. Then we hear the craziest thing. That same friend who was in love with Liam and was like struggling with mental health issues, you know, obviously wasn't the biggest fan of Jane. She was like out to lunch one day or something, and she happened to see Jane's mom, or no, sorry, she saw what she thought was Jane, because Jane and her mother look like identical. Like if you just see them from the back, you can't tell who's who. Like they're the same size, same stature, everything. So she sees Jane's, who she thinks is Jane, like cheating on Liam essentially. So she's like, oh fuck yeah, like I'm seeing this happen in real life. I can tell Liam like to leave her. Then that woman turns around and she sees that it's Jane's mom. And then she realizes the person that Jane's mom was making out with in the street, who she thought was like a high school boy, was actually a woman. So like, what, you know? So anyway, like word gets around, obviously, and then like somehow, I don't know if like Lacey ended up confronting Jane or like telling her about this or what, but they ended up like, Lacey tried to get into a fight with her at school, and Jane was just like, I mean, not really having it. Like from what I heard from the friend, again, like I didn't really hear from Jane. I tried to check in with her at this time. I didn't hear anything back. But it was this crazy situation where like Lacey thought that she was catching Jane in the act of doing something wrong, and in the process of that coming out, Jane ends up realizing that her mother is hooking up with a woman, which like she had no idea about. Like as far as she knew, her mother was like with her father her whole life. So, you know, her mom's a widow, like she's single, she has every right to do what she wants, but Jane's just like, wait, what? Like I didn't even know that like you, this part of yours, like this side of yourself existed. So anyway, then like it comes out through the grapevine. At this point, like Jane has gotten in touch with me and she's filling me in on all this stuff, and I'm just like, what the hell? So I'm trying to remember like the exact order. So she finds out, like she confronts her mom, and she's just like, I know, and like I'm not, you know, I'm not upset with you, I'm happy for you, I know you have to like do what you have to do, but like why didn't you tell me it? I just don't understand. So like this full story comes out where her mother, whose name, well, let's just call her Jane's mother, I'm not sure what her name is, but she was from New York originally, right? Like I said, and she was a lesbian like her whole life, and her mom was like super Catholic, super religious, super against like same-sex anything. So Jane's mom felt like she had to hide herself, like she just couldn't be who she was. So when she gets to like high school age, back in the day in New York City, like early 90s, she meets this woman that she like goes to school with, and they meet during a blackout in the subway. Like they're trapped underground for like an hour or something like that, and they just strike up conversation, and then they're like, hey, like I like you too. And then like they were together. But her mother So Jane's grandma was like very much against this. So Jane's mother was kind of sneaking around, like just kind of doing her thing, but very estranged from the family. And so when she graduated high school, she ended up running away to California. Like she got into a college there, so she went there to go to school. And then in her first semester of school, she was so depressed and so isolated. She was also working at like a grocery store on the side, and she met this like man, this older man, and she just decides to marry him. Like she ran away to like be herself, but then she ended up like going along with what her mother would have wanted her to do anyway, which is the craziest thing. And then she just ends up getting pregnant, and then she has Jane. Follow for part 2, because this is getting really long. Okay, this is part 2 of my friend's crazy story where she lost her dad, moved to New York where her mother was from, and then finds out that her mother has actually been gay the whole time. So anyway, where we left off is like just this whole story unraveling of Jane's mother having this insane secret past that like Jane literally had no clue about. All she knew was that her mother was from New York. She didn't really stay in touch with anyone in New York, and like she wasn't very close with her family, like her mother or her 2 brothers. But like it was just in Jane's life and how she grew up, like that's just how it was. Like it wasn't really talked about or questioned. So anyway, she finds all this out, and she's just like, everything starts to make sense, right? Because all of a sudden these memories are unlocking, where like the first one, or as early as Jane's like 3rd birthday party, I guess the ex-girlfriend had been trying to contact Jane's mother, and like her dad found out about it at like Jane's 3rd birthday party, and that is what caused this rift in their marriage that was always there. So like, you know how I said in the beginning Jane was super close to her father? That's why. It's because there was like this split between them. So like between her mother and father, because of like what had happened, and like this throughout the marriage, I guess there was like issues of like, you know, her being in touch with her ex-girlfriend and things like that. And Jane had no idea of any of this. So she was just kind of like in the middle, like not understanding it, not having the full context. So when this all comes out, like as crazy and shocking and kind of painful as it is, she was relieved, and she was also just like really sad for her mom. Like, I can't believe that you had to go through your whole life like not being yourself, you know? And I think that's happened to a lot of her parents probably, because like back in those times, like it was so much less accepted to just be who you are. Even today, like it's still an issue for some people. So she was like relieved for her mom, but also shocked, just like going through all the emotions. Thankfully, she had Liam by her side the whole time, like truly her soulmate. I know high school, it's like crazy to say that, but like if you knew them as a couple and you saw them, you would just see it. Like some people, like they click and it's just like, yeah, they're going to be together forever. They were that couple. Even just seeing like online and hearing stories, I could tell that. So anyway, all of this comes out. Then even crazier, we find out, or like Jane finds out, and Jane tells us that she like her mother had like this, you know, healing moment with the grandmother, because like this whole thing, like the whole reason she moved away in the first place and was so estranged is because her mother couldn't accept who she was. Come to find out, her mother was like born into sex slavery. Like her parents owned like a brothel, and they literally just like put her to work like as a child. Like saddest story I've ever heard in my life. And she was like one of the regular clients that would come and like essentially abused her because she was a child and like she had no say in what was happening to her. That person was a woman. And so because of that, this grandma just had like, on top of like society and religion and everything like that, she had this somewhat understandable reason for being like very averse to gay people. Not that that's understandable, but like it's understandable why her mind would kind of do that based on her own trauma. You know what I mean? So she's like finding out all these layers to her family, and she's like, holy shit, like these people that I've grown up with and like have taught me everything I know, like I didn't know anything about them. Like, what a trip, you know? And how many of us can say that about our families? Like, as we get older, the more that comes out, it's like, who are you people, you know? So she's dealing with this. Like I said, she's got Liam by her side. Then in the midst of this, like, it feels like, okay, everything's come out, like, we're all healing together, we're getting over, like, losing the father figure of our lives, and we're all coming out with who we are and who we want to be, and we're, like, feeling really settled in ourselves. Then Lacey, don't forget Lacey, like, the Liam's best friend who was in love with him, she starts to have, like, some serious mental issues, and she struggled with them her whole life. But at this point, it's getting really out of control. And it, you know, not to say that it's just from her wanting to be with Liam, but that is triggering something in her. Whatever is unhealed in her or imbalanced, that she just hasn't fully addressed, is really, really coming to the surface. And she attempts to kill herself. She survives, and she is checked into a hospital, where she is able to get access to the therapy that she needs, and she really, like, fully heals. She apologizes to Liam and to Jane, and she really, like, is able to make peace with them as friends. They, you know, have totally forgiven her. Like, they just want her to be healthy. They support her. It's the number one thing that matters at this point. So Lacey ends up moving to Ireland to continue school and kind of start her life, and she just wants to start fresh. You know, she's like, okay, I've been through so much, like, it's time. But unfortunately, she ends up taking her life while she's there, like, despite the progress that she made and how much she feels like she turned herself around. It was just, the battle was too hard in her mind, and she couldn't make it through. And this was absolutely devastating to Liam. Of course, he was, like, her sister. He'd known her his whole life. And to Jane, I mean, they'd all grown to love each other. So it was very, very devastating. So then what Jane and Liam end up doing at this point, like, this has gone on for years. So at this point in the story, we're all like, post-college age. Jane and Liam actually had just moved back to California. They got married during this time. Like, their lives were like, amazing. And so hearing this news was such a shock and such a, like, it just completely jarred them, because it's like someone that we knew and we grew up with has gone in a completely different direction, and we thought that she was, like, getting the help that she needed, and unfortunately it just wasn't enough for the battle that she was fighting in her head. And so they're devastated by this, and they had actually been planning, they had all gone in on this, like, timeshare type thing in Hawaii, and they'd been planning for, like, this big reunion for the three of them, and it was, like, literally scheduled to happen in a couple months, and it was supposed to be like a belated honeymoon, like, celebration for the three of them, but Lacey obviously didn't end up making it. So Jane and Liam, after talking about it, they decided to still go and just, like, honor their friend and try to figure out where to go from here. So today, fast forward to today, they are just turning 30. Liam was always interested in cooking, like, outside of his martial arts experience. He ended up becoming a chef and opening his own restaurant in LA, and all of the dishes have something to do with his best friend and honor her, because she was one of the first people to really, like, encourage him and motivate him to do his own thing. So it's, like, a beautiful, beautiful, like, tribute to her. And Jane has continued to do her thing. She supports him and his restaurant and does some, like, marketing and social media work for him, and then also has her own clients, and they're just so happy. Her mother and her girlfriend have stayed together. They reunited back in New York, and they moved to California to be near Jane and Liam as well. And it's just this incredible story. The reason it sticks in my head so much is because it's this incredible story of our shadow selves and all of the different ways that we respond to things and all the different ways that we move through life. So many different people in this story have dealt with darkness, and it took them all in different directions, and there's no right way or wrong way. It's just, this is life, and it just, we surprise ourselves, and we think we know ourselves, we think we know where we're from, and we really don't. And I think the journey of life is just a constant learning and unraveling and readjusting. And this story is entirely fictional. It is actually the plot of my first fiction novel called Muscle Memory. I started writing it after losing my own father, but I fictionalized every single detail and created this world where everyone is confronting their shadow selves, and it is meant to help people feel less alone as we're going through the parts of life that feel hard or scary or difficult. So if this sounds like something that you would like to read, please comment below. I would love to maybe read some excerpts or share more of the story with you. It's not published yet, but it will be by the end of the year. So come with me on this journey. Thank you so much. It's called Muscle Memory.
Hey y'all, so I wasn't even supposed to come on here and tell the story, but it's whatever. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I am the youngest salon in Georgia. I opened up my first salon at 13. I am now 18, and I turned 19 in a few days, well, on February 3rd. My first 2 salons, I never had girls working in there because I was always in school. So it was basically an investment from my mom. She invested about $60,000 in me from the time that I was in 8th grade to graduation. So after graduation, I decided to open up my new location, which is in East Point on Washington Road. And it's so beautiful. Like, I love my salon. I love my shop. You guys should come. But this time, it was all on me. Like, all the responsibility was on me. Rent, decoration, furnishing it, it was all on me. So I worked, I saved, and I invested for about 3 months. And then came September, maybe late August, September, I started reaching out to people. If you're in Atlanta, hairstylist, nail tech, cluster tech, makeup artist, I've probably reached out to you. Like, if you haven't seen it, I'm probably in your request. I've reached out to everybody. Well, I feel like I've reached out to everybody. But yeah, that was really my way of promoting, by like reaching out, introducing myself. Some people would text back, some people wouldn't, but at least I got it out there. At least I got the information out there, you know? Okay, so let's jump into the story time. The first lady that I had working in there, she was a hairstylist, and I knew her from doing my hair and my makeup more than a few times or whatever. She was really good. She seemed really sweet. So before she came to work in the shop, I had her come do my hair at my shop because I think the wash bowls or something wasn't working at her shop. Side note, she was supposed to be like a mentor. She had expressed to me that she'd been in the hair industry for a long time. She told me she owned about like 2 salons, if I'm not mistaken. But she said she had a salon. So she said she used to have a salon or whatever. You know, she said she knew the game. So I was looking into her like, okay, you finna help me. Like, that's how she came off. Like, she was finna help me. So she had came to do my hair in my shop. I got one red flag this day. You're never supposed to ignore the red flags. Never. But she was basically telling me that I wasn't going to make no money from my salon. She was like, if she was me, she would put... My uncle's barbershop is in the front. So she was talking to him. She was talking to me. And she was saying that... Don't mind my nail missing, y'all. But she was saying that she would put walls in between the stations because more people want suites or whatever. And I'm not going to make a profit if I open a salon. It's not a good business to have. So I do understand that people prefer suites over booths, I believe. Like, some people prefer them over booths. But if I have my salon right here, don't sit here in my face and tell me I'm not gonna make no profit. Like, don't talk down on what I got going on. But when she would talk down, she did this a lot. When she would talk down on what I'm doing, she would make it seem as if it was advice, and then she would wrap up the conversation with, oh, but I'm so proud of you, da-da-da-da. So after that day, the shop that she was working at had closed down, and she had reached out to me saying that she wanted to come and work. So I was like, okay, or whatever, like, okay. So as time went on, like, she paid at least, I want to say 2 payments on time. But after that, I had to chase her down for 3 months every Sunday for a payment. And my rates, they're good. Like, they're affordable. They're good. They're cheaper than most. So it's like this person was coming in, supposed to be giving me advice and showing me the way, but I got to chase you down for payments. Then another side note, I allowed her to promote the shop as if it was hers so that she could bring people in. Because if somebody been in the industry over 20 plus years, whatever, 10 plus years, whatever, they gonna know people in the cosmetology field, people who do nails, people who do hair, people who do lashes. So I'm like, okay, however you want to promote, bring them in. I'm not tripping because I know what I have. So she had the shop on her page for the whole time she worked there and never brought nobody in. Like, never brought nobody in to work. And she kept saying people was gonna start on Monday. Like, oh yeah, this girl gonna start on Monday, da-da-da. And people will tell you that they're gonna start and not make a commitment to renting out a booth. So I wasn't really tripping on that, but it's like you can have the shop on your page for 3 months receiving these congratulations and everything, but you haven't brought nobody in here. So we're off her. The next girl we're going to is the nail tech. I did get the nail tech by promoting. Like I told you, I was reaching out to everybody, and I had reached out to her because she had been following me on TikTok for a while, and I didn't know her personally, but she had been like commenting on my stuff and like just little things. So I'm like, okay, she do nails, let me reach out to her or whatever. So she ended up following up, and if she's following up, she referred her friend to me, and that's the third girl I got into the shop. She did hair and nails. So the nail tech, she rubbed me the wrong way her first week working in the shop, because before that she was being so supportive. Like I told y'all, she brought the other girl in. She was texting other people for me. She was promoting for me. So she was like, she seemed great. But then when it was her first week, I believe, she just started questioning everything that I said. Questioning my form of payments, questioning things that had nothing to do with her. Then the background on the other girl who she referred, we were texting or whatever before she got in the shop, and she told me that she wanted to be around people that she could grow from and people who had something going on, because I guess the people that she was around were, I don't know what mindset they had. I don't know what she was trying to say, but I have the messages. I would read them, but I don't know my iPad. But she just was looking to be around young entrepreneurs like herself, I guess. And then the fourth girl was a hairstylist. I had reached out to her. Like I told y'all, I was texting people or whatever, telling them about the shop. She told me that she'll keep me posted, and then she ended up following back up. So she came into the shop. She seemed so sweet. She had let me hold her baby and everything. Like, it just seemed so genuine, y'all. Like, it just seemed so genuine. And I never expected none of what I'm gonna tell y'all from these people. So everything was going good. Like, it was about 4 people, like I said. Yeah, 4 people in there working. Everything going good. Like, they was getting more clients as they came in, because 2 of them were home-based. So, you know, when you're home-based, like, you may get clientele, but some people might be skeptical on if they want to come to you or not, because it's a house, and you know people be crazy these days. So I used to love going in the shop. I used to be making Tik Toks with them, joking, playing, all types of stuff, which I know you're not supposed to do. That's why I'm saying, like, this is a lesson. But I had noticed, like, a lot of things. Like, it would be dirty, and I would go up there and just clean up or whatever. But I'm like, at least they in here working. Like, at least they in here, you know. And I feel like I was just so excited and happy that my shop was running that I was just too scared to, like, step on toes, because I didn't know what really happened. That's the hard thing about business. You got to step on toes, but you can't step on toes too much. Like, you're the boss. It's your place. So if you let them run over you, they're going to run over you. I had to sit up because my legs hurt. But they had started leaving the shop dirty. Like, tracks on the floor. It had looked like they were still there. Like, tracks on the floor, hair in the seat, dirty tools out, food on the stations. Like, it was bad. So, trash filled up to the top. And y'all, mind y'all, I was never there. Like, I go to work from Monday through Friday. I work in my mom's daycare, and I work full time. Like, I'm still working. So I was never there full time, but usually the owner don't have to be in there. So, like, an owner doesn't have to be in their business. Yes, it's good for you to go in there, but I'm not obligated to go in there because it's running itself. It's supposed to run itself. And they was using all my stuff. Like, I let them use all my stuff. And mostly one of the hairstylists, she used all of my stuff, all of my products, all of my materials, ran through 200 wig caps. Like, you know how you get a wish list? Well, you give out a wish list to your family when you graduate for college? I gave out a wish list for my shop. 70% of that stuff is completely gone because she used it. And she had the most clients. Like, she was bringing in a lot of, well, her and the other girl. They had a lot of clients, but she was the one who needed wig caps. So she had the most clients. She was using all that stuff. So we ended up having like a call meeting. My mama called a call meeting. I let her do all the talking because I had been in there with them and I was enjoying them and I didn't want to step on her toes. I had felt like we was almost friends at this point, and we all around the same age except for the lady who like 30 something. So everybody came to agreement. Everybody was on a call, and I kid you not, like 2 days later, I go into the shop, or actually 2 days later, my uncle called me and he said, look at what I'm finna send you. And I'm finna show y'all what he sent me. So I can't really insert no video, but I'm gonna show y'all from my iPad. Hold on. So y'all, like, after that, I didn't really even say too much. Like, I just had made a list of rules, expectations, because I sent out contracts before. Like, before they started working, they read over the contracts. They said they did. But I had sent out contracts. So the rules was on there. But I had to put them on a little pink background. I had to highlight some fees. Because it's just like, if you're leaving the shop like this, that's now a cleaning fee that I have to clean up after you. Because I'm not going to just leave it right here till you get here. I'm going to have to clean it up. And mind y'all, like I said, I wasn't going to the shop every single day. So imagine how it was looking when nobody was in there. So after I sent out the fees and everything, like, the energy in the shop got so freaking weird. And as I'm sending these fees and stuff and addressing these problems, nobody is replying to me in a group chat or whatever. So it's like they collectively being disrespectful because you already done left the shop a mess. And now you're not acknowledging that you left in a mess, and you're not acknowledging these new fees or fines that have to be put in place because y'all leaving my space dirty. So I felt that the energy was off or whatever. So I purposely went up to the shop. I was curling my hair or something. Yeah, I was curling my hair. And they was just in there talking or whatever. I was talking to them back. And then the girl randomly asked me, she was like, one of the hairstylists, she was like, Leah, so what would you do if somebody was going through a really hard time and they couldn't pay their rent? You just gonna kick them out? And I was like, well, you do know that y'all pay y'all rent so I can pay my rent. You're not in here for free. Like, you're not just paying me rent for no reason. It has a purpose. Just how your clients have to pay so you can pay your booth rent, I have bigger rent to pay. I have bigger fish to fry. So I tried to put in that aspect, but they kept saying that was different. It was like, that's different, that's different. Like, you know how somebody done already had conversations, but they just asking you because they just being messy? Like, that's basically what it was. And I took that as the older lady had been in there telling them, because I told y'all that she was paying her payments late. So I feel like she had been in there making them feel bad for her. Like, and she was real sweet, but she was just very manipulative. Like, she'll say something, but she'll act like she didn't mean what she said, if you get what I'm saying. So after that, like, the energy was extra weird. And I went in there on New Year's, and nobody spoke to me. Like, I guess they was mad about the flyer or whatever that I sent out with the fines. Nobody spoke to me. Like, nobody. When I came in the shop and said, hey, nobody at all. So I'm like, dang, I didn't even say nothing. I just went, because I had a client today. I just went and did her hair. But I'm like, dang, y'all not gonna speak to me in my stuff that I pay for, where I pay the rent, and then using my stuff. You're using my stuff, coming over, taking my stuff off my station, but not speaking to me. Like, okay. So then at that point, I was like, I don't know what's going on, because it came out of nowhere. It all came from me giving out a set of rules, me asking them to respect my space.
Did anyone else's Mexican-ass mom forbid them from using a spatula to flip the tortilla when they were like 7 years old? We were literally in the kitchen like, Mom, please, can I use it?
No seas exagerada.
Okay, guys, so this is part 2 of how a group of people tried to destroy my salon. Side note, the building that my salon is in is very, very, very old. Like, it's on Washington Road. It's been there for years, like probably since before I was even born. So with that being said, it needs a lot of upgrades. And if you've ever rented out a building, you know that you can't control everything that's in there, and it takes time to upgrade and build on your business. So before I even put my salon back there, my uncle's barbershop was already in the front. So it's just this place sitting back there. It looks a mess. The bathroom is being used by men, obviously, so it's not going to be top tier, and I'm still working on it. Mind you, I'm 18. I just graduated. I'm still working on my business, but it's beautiful in my shop. But when you're in that bathroom, it's horrible. When clients used to go in there, I used to be like, watch out for that bathroom. So the girls that I told y'all about in part 1, who I'm still telling you guys about, took it upon themselves to go on live and show the bathroom or whatever. And I'm like, whatever. Show it. Please show it. Post it on your TikTok, post it on your story. Because, yeah, do that. So backtracking to the older lady who like 30-something. Like, she's not old, but like, you know, she older than us. So I was in the shop one day, and I was just looking, you know how like stuff collects dirt, and my cleaning lady had offered to come and clean my salon. So I was like, dang, I do probably need to get my cleaning lady to come up here and start cleaning. I was just thinking out loud. But here comes the older lady in my ear. It was one other stylist in there, and then it was the older lady. She was like, oh, a cleaning fee should already be included in the $100 that we already pay. And then she proceeds to say, mind you, she's saying this in front of the younger girl who clearly don't have a mind for herself. She's clearly a bird brain. I'm just going to put it on the floor. She's a bird brain. She follows everything. She's gullible. Okay? And she was like, even when I used to have my salon suites, I used to charge $150. So yeah, I never paid more than $75 for a booth. There go the shade again. And then y'all know what Natalie said. She said, show me what you have. Don't show me what you had. Don't come in my shop telling me what you used to have. And definitely don't come in my shop telling me what you used to have or what you used to do or how I need to run my stuff around people who work in here. Because if you got bird brains listening to you, of course they're going to believe you. So when she said that, I looked at her. I was like, what am I going to do with $100? What do you think I'm going to do with $100? Like, let's be for real. Y'all are paying me $100 a week, but it's barely covering the rent that I have to pay. So the rent going to get paid if you in here or not. But like, what do you think I'm going to do with $100? Then she wasn't even paying her rent on time anyways. You wasn't even paying your rent on time anyway. So why are you even mentioning prices? You have no right to mention how much something should cost when you're not even paying what you should pay. And then if I did include a cleaning fee in the $100 that you already paid, it would be pointless for me because you don't even pay the $100 that you're supposed to pay. But yeah, so like a week after that, I ended up putting her out. My mama sent her a message or whatever, and she was put out because she wasn't paying her payment. And guys, I have a late fee on my payments or whatever, so however the payments add up, they add up. And she was paying her late fees, but it was getting to a point to where if you 2-3 weeks behind on your payment, I don't even want the payment no more. Get out. And I really was, like, let me not even say it like that, but I really was being so lenient. And she was really taking advantage of me because I was young. But it's like, I don't want the late fee. I want you to get out because it's like you don't even work here. It's really like you don't even work here. So she had done got her stuff and left. And I guess when she went to go pack up her stuff, the other stylist who used to lead the salon real dirty, I'm gonna get on her, but who used to lead the salon real dirty, I guess the older lady told her that I put her out because her energy was bad, when I really put her out because her payments was late and she wasn't paying on time. So when I put her out or whatever, I guess it made the girls mad. Like, they got upset. And they was only upset, mostly the one who used to be using all my stuff. She was mostly upset because she couldn't use her stuff no more. That's really why you mad she got put out. Actually, let me show y'all how she left the shop the morning of the meeting we had. Let me play it one more time. Chip bags with chips in it, food containers, trash on the floor, trash on the station. It was ew. Like, imagine what your house looked like. So that's when they still wasn't talking to me. Like, the energy was like 10 times worse than it was the day I told y'all I walked in there and nobody spoke to me. So moving on, I was on the way to the shop. I was like 7 minutes away from the shop. And y'all know my uncle barbershop is in the front. So I guess they was in there talking about me. But whoever was in the shop who was texting me, they got the part that somebody else didn't. So they heard them on the phone with the nail tech who had already left. Like, I really wasn't even thinking about her, but she was on the phone with them or whatever. They was on the phone with her and they was asking her about her sweets or whatever. They was planning to leave. Nobody had told me that they wanted to leave or whatever, but they was just like, I don't know why she put me. She told her everything that she know. Y'all, how can somebody who can't even pay their $100 rent on time teach me everything that I know? My mama taught me everything I know. Let's make that clear. Now, the lady did show me how to hot comb. She did show me how to do a good hot comb, like, and I'm thankful for that hot comb. She definitely showed me how to do a good hot comb, but everything that I know, that's a push. So whoever was texting me, they was like, yeah, they in here talking about you right now. I was like, wow, I'm like 7 minutes away from the shop, like, or whatever. So I get there, it's quiet. Nobody's talking. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's saying what they felt. Nobody's saying how they felt about me putting the lady out. Nobody's saying nothing. So I go in, I had to, and my client probably watching this. It was my old teacher or whatever. I went outside and I told her, I said, the energy in the shop is super bad right now, so please don't mind it. I probably won't say much, like, please don't mind it. It's super bad. Like, it's super bad. So as I go into the shop, I see my friend sitting in a chair. And I'm like, oh my God, hey girl, like, this is my friend. Like, we don't talk every day, but that's my girl. So keep that in mind. My friend was sitting in the chair. Later that day, my mama hosted a meeting. She had brought food or whatever, and we were basically just putting out the rules, letting everybody speak their mind. Everything was good. Like, the energy was back okay or whatever. Like, it was okay. I had felt better because I'm like, okay, the energy in the shop is better. Like, we had this meeting, the energy in the shop is better. So the next day after that, 3 minutes after I reposted one of the girls' post, like her hair post or whatever, I get a phone call from my friend that was sitting in the chair. And yes, I told y'all somebody in the barbershop had already done told me that somebody was talking about me, but they didn't tell me, they didn't hear everything that was said. And what my friend told me was just crazy, y'all. Like, they was just dogging me, like, dogging me. It didn't even have nothing to do, well, it did have something to do with the shop, but like, mind you, like I said, I was dancing with these people, doing Tik Toks, laughing, helping you, letting you use my stuff, but they was dogging me. They was like, I be asking them to promote my shop. Nobody promoting this dirty ass shop. They was like, my mama annoying. They was like, I can't even do hair for real. And not only was they dogging me, they was dogging me in front of their clients. Like, just unprofessional, like, unprofessional. So I told her to gather her things and get out. And that wasn't professional of me, but how are you biting off the hand that feeds you? Like, you're coming in this shop using my stuff every single day, but you're dogging me. So I had to put the older lady out. I put her out, and then the other girl decided to leave because she's a bird brain and she follow everybody and she don't have a mind for herself. So she had ended up sending me a message telling me that she don't feel comfortable being at the shop no more because some of them got put out because of the same things that she was doing, and it doesn't feel like a family anymore, and it feels like everything is falling apart.
My ass really just left the house in this outfit being like, this is so slay. And then I like saw myself in the reflection of like a mirror on a storefront, and I was like, this is embarrassing.
Hey Chad, so today I have a story time about how I lost my first fight Saturday. Basically, y'all, my homegirl, we're gonna call her Elf because I have this right here in front of me. And she's been beefing with this particular group of girls since December. So the whole thing is kind of like, you know, old or like dragged out or whatever. So boom. So Saturday she came over to do my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, like, genuinely, it was just supposed to be a normal day. You know, she does my hair, boom, everything cool. That's until she gets to my house and she gets a phone call. Boom, it's a call from one of the girls that she was beefing with. And this girl in particular, she's in my grade. My friend Elf is in the grade above me. I'm in 10th grade. I'm a sophomore. First, when she gets to my house, boom, she's taking my hair out the pack. That's when she got the phone call from 10th grader. And 10th grader is asking, does she want to fight? So I'm just like, Lord have mercy. So boom, my homegirl, she's fed up at this point. The situation, the whole stuff been going on since December, literally. So she's like, yes, I want to fight. Now, mind you, I'm not a messy individual. The only reason that I didn't talk her down from this is because it had been going on so long. And I get, you know, her being fed up, basically. So I'm just like, you know what, okay, let's get this over with. Me and her, we decide, okay, walk down to the park. Mind y'all, I came with her just in case for safety. I had no intentions on fighting whatsoever. Like, I have on pajama pants, these shoes not suitable for fighting, big shirt, bonnet on, hair not done. Like, y'all, I looked a plum fool, but I didn't think I was gonna have to get to tussling, baby. So boom, we get to the park, we bust the corner because it's like a fence at first, so you can't see anything until you pass that fence. So we pass the fence, boom, we see 10th grader and somebody else with her, and we expected her to have somebody with her, but we didn't expect it to be her cousin, 12th grader. 12th grader also has a problem with Elf. So it's like, yeah, so when I see this, I'm instantly like, oh, and 12th graders dressed to fight. So I'm just like, damn. But, you know, I'm just thinking, you know what, at least I'm here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to fight. You know, I'm just there just in case, literally supporting my friend being there. And then, too, why would I let her walk down to the park by herself? Anything can happen. That would be dumb. So, boom, 10th grader and Elf, they start talking, going back and forth a little bit, boom. My friend, she's tying her hair up, and she's, like, braiding it to make sure, like, it wouldn't get pulled because she has long hair. So, yeah. But, boom, her 10th grader, they start fighting. You know, her hair still got pulled anyway. So, yeah. So, 10th grader, y'all, this is baking powder. Hold on. I'm going to have to come back in a sec. Okay, but yeah, so 10th grader has my friend by the hair. Boom, swings her, pulls her to the ground. And they're tussling. But mind you, this is still a one-on-one. I don't jump in. The only time I jump in is if she's about to get jumped. That's the only time I ever do anything. So boom, 12th grader, she walks over there. She's standing like above them. So my friend right here, 10th grader's like on top of her. And then boom, 12th grader comes. And my friend, she's on the ground. 12th grader starts pushing her like while she's on the ground. So y'all, I'm not even thinking at this point. Boom, I just cock my fist back and swing. Because, baby, it's the fact we already didn't know she was going to be here. She was dressed to fight. And then she's pushing my friend while she's on the ground. Boom, I just cock my fist back and swing. And boom, me and 12th grader, we start fighting. I'm a sophomore. So, you know, she's older. She got that fight experience and stuff. Or whatever, like, yeah, like, y'all, she's a good fighter. And this is my first fight, you know. So she took me through her. I'm not gonna lie. So boom, we were fighting on a hill. My glasses ended up flying off. Like, she had me by the hair at some point, y'all. It was like all a blur. Like, cause you know, adrenaline pumping. Then I'm in shock. I'm just like, damn. Like, I ain't like, bro. I didn't think. I just, like I said, I just started punching. So boom, I ended up falling to the ground. I tripped somehow. Cause bro. Yeah, we were fighting on a hill, like, and boom, like, I know, like, when my glasses flew off, like, she punched me in the eye some more, whatever. So, y'all, I'm blind. I cannot see without my glasses. Anything, like, past this phone, bit blurry. So, yeah. So then, at that point, I'm just over it, because I'm just like, girl, like, I already had no motive to fight you. I just had to step in for my friend, because I either watch or get involved, and I would rather get involved. Boom, so I'm irritated. I get up, I start looking for my stuff because I'm just like, yo, like, I had no motive to fight. And it's different when you have a motive. So, like, when you're waiting to beat somebody, but me and this girl, we never even beefed. Like, it's like, it was so random. Like, what? And so, boom, now we're done at this point. 10th grader and my friend, they were trying to see if they were going to run it again, but it was taking a little second. So, I was just like, you know what, like, bro, like, let's just go back to the house. So, boom, we go back. Well, my friend goes back. Her mom had picked her up because her brother had, like, told, like, her mom, like, about the fight and stuff going on. So her mom was finna, like, grab her bonnet, and they were finna be like, hey, drop the low. We're about to fight again. Like, run the rematch. Now, me, y'all, I'm already not a fighter. I just did what I had to do because, you know, friend finna get jumped. So, it was like, Like, even with me losing, like, you know, like, bro, I did what I had to. So, did not do it. They did not run the ones again. Now, so after this, my other homegirl ends up coming to my house and, like, started to do my hair. We're gonna call her Moose. So, boom, Moose does a bit of my hair. And, like, we're talking about the situation because we were texting about it, like, kind of, like, after it happened, like, immediately after. So, yeah, and as Moose is doing my hair, boom, I get a call from my homeboy because I told my homeboy about, like, the whole fight stuff, like, immediately after it happened, too. He tells me, like, my fight video got out and it's not looking too good. So I'm just like, ooh. So, boom. Then, like, you know, I'm just like, you know what, bro? I could either be bitter and, like, play hard, or, like, I could just take this L and laugh about it. I chose to laugh about it. So, basically, I put on my main, and I was like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I got hit with them haymakers, GG's chat. And, I had did a little story time on my dump account. And, you know, I had people, like, laughing and, like, supporting me or whatever, like, talking about, like, still pretty, like, da-da-da-da. Like, y'all, like, I was not gonna take it serious, because, like, bro, like, that's not even me for real. I'm not even a fighter. I think I'm above fighting. Like, literally, like, I'm just overly prissy. Like, yeah, I genuinely feel like I'm above fighting. So, whatever. And I would say, like, you know what, like, it was cool. It was whatever. Like, it wasn't nothing too crazy until my ex-boyfriend that, like, he played in my face really, really bad, guys. But even besides that, like, I'm still not tripping about it. You know, I'm not tripping about it now. He was kind of in his notes, like, laughing and, like, rejoicing about it. And that's what just had me, like, bro, you played in my face and was, like, doing all of that to me. Like, why are you happy at me getting beat? Well, why are you happy at the fact that I got beat? Like, chill. Like, for real. And, yeah, so I got some laughs or whatnot. Like, y'all, because this is a funny situation to me. Like, I'm not taking it to heart. I'm not taking it too serious. Bro, it was my first fight. And it's like, I'm not going to be down in the dumps about it either. If people were in my situation, they probably wouldn't even have did what I did. Because that girl, like, she's known for fighting. Like, she's a fighter. So, I didn't want to do what I did. Respectfully. But it doesn't matter. I'll let y'all know how school goes. Because, of course, first day back since the fight. Yeah, y'all. And it's like, I feel like laughing about it was the best thing I could have did, because when you don't laugh about it, people think they can hold that over your head. Like, bro, genuinely, like, I just wholeheartedly, I think it's funny, like, dude, like, genuinely, it's whatever. Like, first fight, you know, win some, you lose some. But yeah, I don't know why that man wanted to see my downfall, because, like, I never really just, like, did anything to him, per se. Like, but when I found out, yeah, I did crash out a little bit, but I feel like, you know, that's valid, that's human. But other than that, and even when I cut him off, the paragraph was respectful, because I loved and cared about him. Why would I do anything less? Okay, but that's it, y'all. I'm gonna put on my other lash, and thank you for listening to my story time.